Definitely didn't.
Did not get a 9er. Definitely
Nope.
not a 99er because we're at episode 200. Here we are. It's Cash
200 motherfucking episodes. Wait, let me try it again. 200 motherfucking episodes.
There it is.
Yeah.
So good.
Take away the button.
I probably should have stressed this beforehand, and now that we're starting, Casey, did you do the rumble and the pilled?
Yes, he did.
I already have Pilled done.
Gosh.
Doing Rumble right now.
You're so
30
good at
steps
this.
ahead of you at all times.
People are all late right now. Usually we have a good little bump in the beginning, but they're shocked that we actually started dead at 6 o'clock. Everybody coming in, they're like, "This is awkward. I don't know what's happening." Why are they all
That's
here?"
funny. You started on time.
Yeah.
We did.
All right.
Before everybody says hello to start, just a heads up, this is episode number 200. We'll give kind of a recap what's going on. Apparently the president got shot at again. We've got a lot of random stuff. We've got a lot of special guests, and as special guests come in, which I already see one in the back room, we're going to have people check in. They're going to say hello for a little bit. They're going to give their temperature check on what's going on in the country. They're going to hang out for 5-10 minutes, and then they're going to leave. Here's our core for the show. If it gets too busy, Matt will eventually leave. But, you've seen Emily, obviously, for a while, MAGA Mangione, Casey, and, of course, Cash. So before we start bringing guests up, and I see the comments, this is, again, episode 200. Go ahead and bring up your favorite memories. Say what your favorite memories are of your favorite guests that are no longer, doing shows with us. But anyways, Casey, what's going on in your world?
Just trying to survive and keep my lungs in my chest and try to get over the sickness. That's about it.
I'm at about 93% right now, so I'm almost there. I worked all weekend with no voice, which was fantastic. Didn't feel good. Anyways, Cash, what's happening?
Oh, just sitting here pondering my existence in America underneath this administration and hopefully not Kamala's administration in this next election. I watched her today and I damn near vomited a couple times in my own mouth. It was bad. It was hard to watch.
She didn't answer a single question.
She definitely didn't, but I will say this. She is the queen of spin. No one can spin the way Kamala can spin. I'm talking about, Kamala, what color is the sky? What color is the sky, Kamala? Well, I just want you to understand that I grew up in a middle-class family, so we had a middle-class sky. And the funny thing about the sky is, Trump's a racist. So every single time that somebody tells you to go and look up at the sky, I want you to ask yourself, what are they trying to stop you from looking at when it comes to Donald Trump?
Before we go to Emily and Matt, did you see the clip of what's the press secretary? What's her name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. When Peter Doocy called her out today and was like, you're calling him a threat 2 days after there was an assassination attempt.
Right.
For a group that are trying to tone down the rhetoric, don't you think that? And then she just brought up the insurrection. It's mind-boggling. They want this man dead. There's no doubt they want this man dead at this point. It's clear.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah, because he's gonna win, and they know that.
I don't know. After that debate, it's a lot closer than it was before the debate.
No,
Matt,
it's not.
It is. Matt, what do you think? What's happening? Been a while since we had you on. I know you've been busy.
Yeah, but I actually played that clip on my show for tomorrow, which is amazing. And she called the question dangerous. She did. It's dangerous for Democrats.
Peter Doocy's question dangerous.
Right. The question that Peter asked and I said this in my show, if you're sitting around your dining room table, you're talking to your buds, your friends, your family, whatever it is, we're all asking the same question. The Democrats want to kill him. Are they going to stop with I even played the Hillary Clinton Mad Cow interview where the hate and the division and the chaos, and it's all incorporated in there. We allow the Democrat Party to control the language, and we have to stop doing that, number one. But it's dangerous to the Democrat Party to call out the left on their language. And here we are. They want to, in my mind, they want to put Trump in a bunker. They want to get him out of the public eye, because I'm being told the internal polling for Camel Toe is no better than Joe Biden.
Exactly. I was going to say it. But you hit it. That's the truth.
That's what I'm hearing, that the polling never changed, that the left has to convince you, or they have to use the mainstream media to say to you that it's better so that they can cheat in 2 months and make it seem somewhat possible.
Yeah. And that's my biggest issue with the debate, is with the debate. If the debate would have been a stronger showing for Trump, it would have solidified that it was too big to rig. And at this point, I think he did poorly enough where it will make it believable in people's minds that she could potentially win, and that's what terrifies me.
Well, can I say something here real quick on that debate? That was the strategy, right? I think as Republicans, we got lulled into a sense of, okay, CNN was fair and ran Joe Biden out. That was the strategy. So we got lulled into this, okay, maybe ABC's going to be fair and ask Kamala the right questions. Well, CNN wanted Joe out. ABC wants Kamala in. So the whole setup was her to be emotional, J6, climate change, abortion. I got to be that emotional lady, and we got to make Trump look angry. So we're going to fact check him all the time. It's what they wanted to do. That was the entire play of that debate. So if you look at it in that lens, Trump did a lot better than he should have.
No, I mean, and well, I'm not saying he did, but I think it was definitely an all-out assault. There's no doubt about it. When I rewatched it, there was times that not only did they double down on asking him really impossible or very difficult questions, he took the bait too much for one, but there was times not only did they not fire back at Kamala Harris, they handed her answer. They literally crafted it, said, "Isn't this what you would say?" And then she was able to regurgitate it in her own spin, which was, to me, that was the more egregious portion of it. Before we start bringing up guests, I'll have Emily talk, but I had a 2.5-hour debate in Milwaukee with a group of people this last weekend at a bar, drunk, and it was the most fun I've had in God knows how long, because the way that it ended. But I'll get to that. Hopefully we'll have a little time for it. But yeah, I agree with what you said, Matt. Emily, by the way, Emily and Matt, y'all need to know each other, especially Matt. If you ever, I know you do show by yourself, but if you ever need somebody, Emily is perfect to throw up there. She's the 26 or 28, 26-year-old, 26-year-old assassin with facts and figures. So you'll like her. Emily, what's crappening?
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of what you guys didn't already cover. I think it's the Elon making the joke on X, and then they're trying to say, oh, he's inciting violence against Kamala. That was interesting. For me, the bigger issue is this really increasing tensions with Russia, with them talking about using the long-range missiles into Russia. I don't want to say there's any positives to this, but to me, it seems like they're trying to push the Ukraine-Russia conflict past the point of a negotiation that Trump could, reasonably do before he's actually elected president as president-elect. To me, that doesn't seem like people that are confident that they're going to win in November. So that's a positive. The negatives, they're trying to push us past the brink of any form of negotiation. And it's quite scary. Especially, I have friends in Moscow. They're worried. Don't know what's going to happen, but it's not good.
No, that's fair. Yeah, and I mean, there's a bunch of little stories that have popped up. I mean, the big story of the assassination has been completely muffled by mainstream media. They keep saying, potential assassination attempt. It's like it was an assassination attempt. It just so happened. I mean, the guy was staked out for 12 hours. It was such an egregious failure. But little things like because again, like I said, the abortion topic is going to be the strongest one that the Democrats are going to campaign on. You've got the first Trump abortion ban death in Georgia, which is hilarious. And most people know my belief on the pro-choice, pro-life stance and the fact that this is not an issue that I'm definitely going to die on any hill on. But hilariously enough, this woman didn't die of the abortion ban. She died of an abortion. Literally died of an abortion, but because she drove from Georgia to North Carolina and was late for an abortion, they had to give her extra pills or different pills. She died of the abortion pill, just like 25 other people did in 2022. But because she didn't get to do it in her own state, they're saying the ban is what caused her to be late. And it's fucking
You're not going to
mental
make light
gymnastics.
of this. You are not going to make light of this. Everybody knows that if she would have had that AB over there in her own state, none of this would have happened. Okay? It's because of those bans on a woman's right to murder health that that she had, she lost her life, and rest in peace to the sister, but I mean, at least we can agree on this. The abortion still happened.
And I'd actually like, if you don't mind, I want to clarify what I said on last week's podcast when I said that you can get an abortion in all 50 states, because I realized maybe that was kind of confusing to some people. I realized there's 14 states that have a total ban on abortions, but I was referencing the recent Supreme Court ruling against a case in Texas, where Texas was trying to ban the abortion pill, which I consider medical abortion. And the Supreme Court ruled that they cannot ban an FDA-approved drug. So I don't know what the rollout is in the 14 states, how they're adjusting to this recent ruling since it happened in July. But according to the Supreme Court, they cannot ban that drug. No states can ban that drug, making abortion accessible in all 50 states still.
Emily and I went and looked this up because she said it, and I'm like, really? And we looked, the verbiage is so vague, even in Texas, Georgia, regarding the abortion pill, that technically it looks as though abortion is not illegal. Forceps-based abortion, sucking the baby out, is abortion, and it is illegal. But the pill can be used up to, I believe, like 14 or 16 weeks. So there is no actual answer. And anybody that's saying that they die because of medical complications, it's actually a lie. It's a bad doctor that doesn't understand the law and is afraid to perform the surgery that they need to perform because they are virtue signaling, and actually that hurts I mean, we've learned that doctors are imperfect as they've pumped people full of every known, God knows, drug known to mankind. We do have one guest that'll be coming up in just a second. He'll be the first one we have on. I'm trying to read his name. It says Free. Not really sure who it is. Just kidding, Free. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
You don't even know who it is. You have no
joke. So I want to recap this conversation that I had, because it was hilarious in the sense that it was. I warned them in the beginning. I said, look, I know your guys' beliefs are on this. Many of them were ex-Republicans, to which they said to me, Anthony, don't you think it means so much for coming from somebody that's been a Republican their whole life that is no longer voting for Trump? Because, like, shouldn't that mean a lot? I go, I was a Democrat my whole life, so shouldn't that mean just the same amount? So the argument going back and forth was fascinating, and I warned them. I said, look, I hate to tell you this. I don't care if it's multiple people on one. I have a lot of knowledge and facts that will make it statistically difficult to have a conversation with me. I'm going to warn you going in, but we'll do the best we can. But I'm going to tell you that I probably have an answer for most of the things you're going to bring up. And every single mainstream topic you can imagine came up, including Kyle Rittenhouse. We even talked about Kyle Rittenhouse and like how ridiculous that was. We talked about the desegregation program. I mean, we went through it all, but the end game, and this is what I'm going to skip to because I could tell you every topic that came up, and it's fascinating. I'll touch one because being near Wisconsin, we talked about Kenosha and obviously Rittenhouse. And I said, what would you expect people to do? I go, were there businesses being looted? Because they're trying to relate it to the insurrection. I said, were there actual businesses being looted? Well, yes. I go, so what would you expect Rittenhouse to do? He was protecting a friend's property that asked him to be there. A friend of a friend asked him to be there. And they said, people were upset. They should have been allowed to do that. Like, to loot people's property? I said, have you ever owned a business? That's what insurance is for. I was like, wow, all right, we're far off. But the end of the conversation is what I'm going to skip to. The end of the conversation is when, after 2.5 hours of a beating that they took by these hands, finally the conversation came to, well, here's the deal, Anthony, and the last person said it. Here's the thing, Anthony, you don't understand. There's a certain level of, no matter what you say, our feelings, use the word feelings, our feelings are this way, and you can't change that. It's such an emotional response we have to all of these things that Trump has done and said, that there is nothing that you can say statistically or factually that's going to change the way we feel. And I literally was like, that's it right there. So you're choosing to feel a certain way, judge me, and I'll tell you lastly why the conversation started. You're choosing to judge me because your feelings don't match up with the truth. You're choosing feelings over truth. And at one point in the conversation, they all said to me, like, this is the kind of conversations we need to be able to have. The reason this conversation started is because of the fact that I said somehow it came up that I was a Trump voter, and they completely shut off. Everybody was so friendly. And then I said that, and it was cold. They literally ran up the street as a group away. And then they told me later on in the conversation, we need to be able to have a conversation. And I was like, do you see how comical that is? When you literally completely change your physiology to me based on the fact that you found out I was voting for somebody else. And now I'm telling you how educated I am and why, and you no longer want to be my friend. Anyways, all right. Before we move to our guests, we got two people in the back that we're going to bring up shortly. Anything else before we get started? Actually, Cash, can you one time tell everybody to like this video, share this video, do all things with this video?
If you guys want to help us out, please like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video that you're supposed to do. I appreciate you. I love you. Russo doesn't. So share the video for me. Like the video from me.
Chipmunk Kelly. Awesome. I mean, you can't get any better than that. That was fantastic. All right. Well, first up, let's bring up Free. Free's been with us on our one of 2 shows. 3. Has he on 3 shows yet? Has he been on 3?
Oh my hell!
I forgot about 1.
Yes, he's been on 3.
He's been on 3. Free's been on 3 because that's right. He was on the 1. That's right. He was on the 3rd one when I was still apologizing for how bad I felt that he was on the 2nd one, not knowing it was the 1st one.
He's been on 4.
He's not been on 4.
He has been on 4.
Well, now he's been on 4.
Welcome in, Free. You get a round of applause.
What's up, guys?
Free, what's happening? So what we're doing today, because it is episode number 200, for people that have been on a few shows throughout the years to come on, give their current state of affairs. Tell me, what you think after the debate, where we are right now, what's going to happen over the next 50 days, assassination. Pretty much, we're going to give you the floor for about 5 minutes, little Q&A. What do you think's happening? What's going on, and where people can find you all at the same time? What's up?
Well, since I knew it was an important show and I didn't want to be the fly in the ointment, this is for you, Russo.
Hell
you got a name tag. Thank you.
And I didn't know if you were a visual learner. So if you're a visual learner, I put a picture of myself too, and then the name right next to it.
That way you can identify him.
Yeah. So I will not get lost during the show today. I'm labeled pretty well. So thanks for having me, though. This is fun. The last time we had a disagreement about what exactly constituted a show. I was your man on scene at the Trump speech.
Yep.
I've played different roles. I was
That's true.
I was a background extra in a couple of restaurant scenes. I've done a bunch of stuff for you guys. So
That is true.
That's good. That's pretty. What'd you think, Free? What'd you think of the debate last week?
I thought you guys did a great show. You did an excellent job, and Emily as well. I really enjoyed listening to all of you. And I guess I feel like it was one of those situations where Trump needed to pitch a perfect game, and it was just kind of not going to happen. And any little blips, the media was going to jump on and twist and turn, and it was a no-win situation. It was kind of like one of those setups where you want to see Game 7, so there was no chance they were going to let Trump sweep this thing and it be over in a sweep. So, but she's terrible, and I heard Cash when I was in the green room and enjoying the nice craft table. I heard Cash talking, and to me, Kamala, she memorizes everything, right? And so it's the exact same thing over and over and over again. And how people don't see that and say is she autistic or something? And that's all she can do.
My mom raised me middle class household, like that same starting point every single time.
You know what it is? It's the beginning of the jerk. where she goes, "I was born a poor black child," and it's no matter what the question is, it's the beginning of The Jerk with Steve Martin and the his origin story. So it's just it's absolutely unbelievable. And I tweeted out today that she's acting like she should get like a year or two to figure out like how to run for president. Well, one, she was already on the ticket, so this is not like she's a last minute sub. She went from VP to president, right? And it's really the same class, right? Like you're still talking about policy, you're still talking about America. Like none of the targets moved on this. Like it didn't change from like, well, we were going to talk about Asia and now we're talking about America, or we were going to try to make the economy worse, but now we're going to try to make it better. Like we don't have to like really adjust the targets on this. So I really don't get what she's, what her malfunction is, if she's actually that dumb or just so overcoached that she can't answer a question.
No, I mean, she still has yet to truly answer policy questions. And our next guest after you is somebody that we disagree vehemently about Donald Trump. However, he is also somebody that will tell you his very serious opinions about how bad of a candidate Kamala Harris is at the same time. I do think this is one of the rare elections that not voting is a choice. RFK is no longer a choice because he's told you, do not vote for me, even in states like Texas. He says, no longer, if I'm on the ballot, don't vote for me, vote for Donald Trump. So I think for those people that are so disenfranchised, I do think, and I know that Casey shook his head no, I think a no vote is actually a vote. And I don't always believe that, but in this election, I do believe is it a vote, because technically Kamala Harris is not the Democrat nominee. There was no Democrat nominee.
Well, it should be the other guy from Minnesota, whatever his name is.
Tampon Tim.
Yeah. No. The guy that won Hawaii or Nevada or whatever.
Yeah. What's his name?
Exactly. McDermott or
something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not voting is an option. I mean, your vote in federal elections doesn't matter. I mean, like you have no choice. Every good primary candidate, got wiped out by rhinos. Like it really, in federal elections, your vote doesn't matter at all. But it really does. There's never a good candidate. I mean, if you go back and look at the candidates over the last 20 years, I mean, they were all terrible. And like Ron Paul was the only decent one that ran probably at any level, and he got smoked by Romney, and so like it's you're not given very many options, and Trump's not a great candidate. I mean, he's not a great politician. Like he should shut up sometimes. He's still like waffling on policy. I mean, that was the worst moment of the debate, is like, they asked him what he was going to do to Obamacare, and he's, acted like he hadn't heard of it before. Like,
I thought it was a good answer.
I actually thought that was a halfway decent. That was one of his better answers.
He
has to look at it or whatever.
He was honest. He said, I said that if I could get rid of Obamacare without it hurting the American people, without them having to pay more or it costing them more, then I would do it. But we didn't have anything, so I was faced with with either trash it and hurt the American people, or try to save it and do a little better. And he said, I did the best that I could, and he just lifted the whole, you got to pay some money at the end of the year if you don't get taxes. So I appreciated that.
I might be misspeaking, but there was one where he said, I haven't formed an opinion on it yet, or something along those lines.
Well, they said, do you have a plan? And he goes, we're still looking into that plan. And I'll be honest, fixing our healthcare system is and that's what he should, that the only thing he missed there was to say, this is why I'm bringing in RFK Jr. Look at this specifically, because this is such a broken part of our society.
But
to
even
tell everybody
that's
what's happening, by the way.
I mean,
today is our 200th.
Like a crazy
Sorry,
one.
Free. Hold on one sec. We got a bunch of people in the back. So today is our 200th episode. We've got 3 people also waiting in the back right now. So just letting you know, we will be bringing them up. Some of the people in the back are people you've mentioned in the chat that you would like to see. Again, 200th episode, 4 years of this nonsense. And here we are. So we'll be bringing them up as we go on the episode. Sorry, Free. Just a minute or two more. What do you think the chances are? So are you currently? I know that you're more of a libertarian. Are you still a Trump voter on this election?
My public stance on it has been, if it came down to me, if the Florida polls on Monday said this is going to be the tightest race ever, I would vote Trump. But, you know, my main goal is to get the libertarians to 5%, get them the federal matching funds. You know, in any other election except for this one, I would vote libertarian no matter what, because that, I think a third party's, you know, part of the solution we need for, you know, getting more voices out there, getting, you know, the corporations out of it a little bit more, getting the lobbyists out of it a little bit more, opening it up and getting some real solutions. Because all we do is throw money at everything.
What do you think of the libertarian candidate, though?
I like Chase, right? You know, if you look at Chase on paper, I'm an ANCAP, and so like if you look at Chase on paper, I'm like 99.9% Chase. You know, end the Fed, end all wars, end all foreign aid, abolish income taxes, repeal the 16th Amendment, like just across the board, he agrees with me on everything. So, you know, the government needs to get out of it. Name one thing that the government is made better. Like they can't even, they're already saying in September that they can't get mail-in ballots by November. Like,
right.
The post office is like the biggest waste of money in the world. They have one job between now and November, and they're like, you know what? We'll just shit the bed now, like right now, like just get it out of the way and just tell you you're going to be disappointed and there's probably going to be corruption. Like the government can't do one single thing right. Like, and nope. You know, I love all my optimist friends that say like, you know, yeah, a little bit more money is going to solve it, or this guy can solve it. But like, you know, we're like, for my lifetime of solving literally anything. And, you know, the rich get richer, the middle class, you know, pays the burden of the taxes, you know, according when you relate it to their income. It's all a huge scam. You know, the jails, we have the highest jail population, like literally every category we suck so bad, and we are the greatest country in the world.
Vice president. Okay.
What you want to hear something weird? I've had this very same conversation, Free, that you just had, is happening more and more and more among the people I'm talking to. It's like Americans are opening their eyes. It's getting shoved down your throat that the government is horrible. It needs, I mean, I honestly hope that Trump wins just so Elon can go in and X the government like he did with the platform, and let's just go. I think this is one time where I like what he said about Trump, but I would love to see, and I hate to say this, Anthony, because you're gonna find me crazy, I'd love to see RFK somewhere in Health and Human Services, COVID, vaccines. I would love to see Tulsi Gabbard somewhere going after something. This is one of those times where I'd like to see people outside of the machine start tearing it apart.
Well, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I completely agree there. Yeah. 100%.
Everybody agrees with it, but do they vote that way? No.
No, not at all.
I think RFK is nutty, but that's just me.
Oh, I do too.
You've
I think
seen
he's an
the libertarian guy. Okay.
He's a dude. Outside of COVID and the vaccines, he is a nutball. I mean, he's an in shape nutball for 70, whatever. I'd like to look as good as he does, but he's nutty.
I like RFK.
Well, he's made a lot of money
off
off those.
He's nutty because he says some things that are out there that I find to be absolutely true because I'm a conspiracy freak. So, I mean, maybe everybody else is a little nutty for not believing him.
As a libertarian, I believe you have the right to have any conspiracy theory you want. I just don't want the government to force Hillary's on me. You know, like that's.
Yeah.
All right, Free. Where can everybody find you?
I'm still on X. I'm, you know, usually in their gulag or somewhere in those parts talking to Casey. So it's on the screen. It's freedom for us, for all. You can find me there. I do spaces. I'm gonna start doing a little streaming. Got a mic that changes colors. Apparently, my son hooked up, and
Dope, wicked dope, Free. All right, thanks for hopping on, and I appreciate this being your second episode with us. Thank you so much.
Congrats, Russo. If you're looking for me, here again, there's my name. Thanks for having me. You guys, real quick, you guys are the best of the best. You know, you guys radiate just intelligence, fun, you know, camaraderie. Like, you make this fun. Like, all these things, like the debate and stuff like that, they would be miserable without you guys. But, you know, that you guys feel the same way and talk about it in such a great way. have a little fun, get a little pissed off, like all of it. I mean, it's like sitting at the tavern with your buddies, you know, talking about, you know, where did my paycheck go, and you know, hey, can you cover for me or whatever. So appreciate you guys, man. Congratulations. Do a bunch more, okay?
Thanks, brother. Buddy. Take it easy. Appreciate you. We'll see you again soon.
We need to bring back Consavengers. Everything he just said was Consavengers encapsulated.
Oh, I'm not trusting you with buttons on Consavengers. Absolutely not. That would be awful.
That'd be dangerous. All right. So we're gonna bring everybody up. We'll call it, maybe instead of Consavengers, we'll call it the local tavern. I don't know.
Oh, the watering hole.
That's a good
call
name.
It the watering hole.
The local watering hole. I don't know.
Watering hole.
You can think through that. So I was now just about to bring everybody up, but one person didn't. So we're gonna bring up 2 of the 3. We'll bring up the 3rd one in a second. All right. There's gonna be some shocks. Oh wait, we got all 3. We're gonna bring them up. I'm gonna go in order. Wait, there's 2 out of the 3. I'm just watching the back. So first up, we haven't seen this gentleman in a long time. He looks like he's been weathered and beaten by the Democratic machine. We've got Jay Kennedy in the building. We also, of course, have Chelly. Everybody remembers Chelly. Where are you? Are you working at a Mexican restaurant right now? What's happening back there?
Man, let him know what it is, Shelly. Tell him what's really going on.
I'm on the boat. Actually, we have a boat, so I'm on our boat, actually.
I want to be on a boat.
And we're waiting on one up there. Are you ready? No, wait. I got the wait. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready. First
Can
off,
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Shelly.
Okay.
Jay, you've been waiting back patiently. There's going to be one person I might have to skip everybody when they come on because they've only got a short window while they're waiting for their fiance to pick them up. So, Suni. Oh, I just slipped. Suni, when you're ready. Oh, we got a thumbs up. Okay. All right. There we go. We've got we've got a huge crew right now. Look at this.
It's like the old days, man. This is making me so emotional.
Somebody needs to turn off their speakerphone.
Who is it? Let's see.
I don't know.
Hold on, I have an idea. Yep, it's Shelly. It's Shelly. I'll no, you're good. You're fine. I'll unmute you when you're ready, when we're talking, and then we'll just talk then. Jay, it's been so long. Give us your current state of affairs on life. I mean, it's even been longer, I think, than Suni has been on the show. So what's happening, Liberal Jay?
I mean, you know, I'm not really, you know, I'm a registered independent and have been my entire life. Not a liberal, just
TD. Should we call you TDSJ?
I don't even have TDS, man.
Yes.
Here's what's happening. Here's the way I'm looking at it.
Hold on. Did you get veneers since we last talked?
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I really didn't. I mean, these are my teeth. You want to see up in there? These are my regular teeth, buddy.
All right.
No,
maybe I mean, you lost weight. I don't
know. I'm using a whitening toothpaste these days, I guess. Maybe that's what's doing it for you.
Wow. Even your toothpaste is racist. All right. Jay, what?
Pretty good.
All right. What's happening, man?
I am so fed up with this election cycle. I think that both of these candidates are absolute garbage. And I can honestly, objectively see how anybody could make a choice either way and say, okay, I'm choosing the lesser of two evils based on what your politics are or whatever. I can honestly, objectively see somebody voting either way. However, the left has now taken over some of the hero worship of the right with the current candidate, Kamala Harris. And I am so sick of both sides, like, just fawning over both these fucking candidates. Like, I hate them both so much. Neither of them are qualified to be president of the United States. Trump is out of his mind, batshit crazy. Kamala knows nothing. Just both of them are absolute garbage. Please, in 4 years, give us a centrist candidate, a dull, boring centrist candidate, so we can stop all these rallies, stop all this nonsense, and just talk about issues. Kamala skirts the issues. She just, to your point, gives canned answers. And Trump talks about whatever he wants. So we don't really know what either of them are going to do. I mean, we have ideas of what they're going to do, but they're both so unqualified to be president. And I cannot.
How do you not know what Trump's going to do? How do you not know what Trump's going to do? He did 4 years of it, and if you take away COVID, he had a pretty successful presidency.
He had an okay presidency. Again, I don't have TDS. Like, I don't hate everything he's done. He had an okay presidency. I don't have TDS. I really don't. I mean, I think my criticisms of Trump are legitimate. They're the same ones that most rational people have. He's a fucking blabbering moron. He has some decent people around him.
Sorry, Cash now has a deck where he does sound effects.
I can tell, and I actually really liked. What up, Cash?
What's
really
up, Jay? How you doing, my brother?
The high voice. You should do that more often. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was great.
He sends me special messages with that voice. It's very awkward. It's very, very.
Oh, you enjoy it.
I'm
You
jealous.
enjoy it.
I think.
but you know what, Jay? I gotta say, bro. You say you don't, but everyone knows.
You have TDS.
I really don't. I really don't. Like the man's got some. He has some good ideas, some good qualities. I don't think he's presidential. I don't think anybody here would argue that he's presidential. Or that,
I don't disagree.
I mean, how could you, right? Like you'd have to be blind and deaf. You'd have to be Helen Keller to disagree with that.
So what's what's the definition of presidential?
That's what I was going to ask.
I mean, what is that?
It's a really good question. I think it was a Supreme Court justice many years ago said, I don't know what pornography is, but I know when I see it. It's probably something like that. You know what I mean? I don't exactly know how to define that. I know what it isn't, and it's not him. It's not her either, by the way. She's not presidential either. Neither of them are. Like, who
would you have voted for? Who right now, if in your perfect world, out of all the candidates on the left and the right, who would be your guy right now or girl?
No. Can I say no one? Like, how about no?
Well, no, you got to have someone.
You gotta have
presidential. Like, you know what I would love? I would love. I'm from the great state of Massachusetts, which has I don't live there any longer, which has a lengthy history of electing for governor left-leaning Republicans. I would love a centrist Republican or a right-leaning Democrat. I don't know who those people are. I don't know. We need a centrist. If someone can point me in the right direction of someone I should be following and not hero worshiping, like both sides are doing with these two.
So what about like a Tulsi Gabbard?
She's okay. Yeah, she's okay. I don't mind her at all. Like she's a reasonable human being. You know what I mean? She
What
seems
about
smart,
Donnie
articulate.
Baseball?
What's that?
What about Donnie Baseball?
Donnie Baseball. Who's that? Don Mattingly?
No. The big Don.
Who?
Donald Trump?
Teflon Donnie.
You're talking about Donald Trump?
How about RFK? How about RFK? Are you an Anthony?
RFK, like every third party candidate ever, has like 60% good ideas and 40% like, whoa, dude, what are you talking about? Like, it feels like every independent is like that.
Jay has had every booster there is, so he is not an RFK fan.
No, I have not. I got my first 2 shots and then realized it didn't make any sense anymore.
To the person that just added to the back room, about how much time do you have? Give me minutes with your hand. 5.
Jay, it is really nice to see you, though.
It's great to see you. It's great to see all you guys. But Cash, it's really good. It's especially good to see you, buddy. It's
bro.
especially good to see you back in your studio, man. Yeah.
You forgot about the other black person, Suni. If you're gonna make it a race issue about why you're happy to see somebody,
I said hello to Suni, but I don't think she heard me. Hi, Suni.
What's up?
Well, listen, the only thing I have to say is if anybody's pretending that either of these candidates are good candidates, I don't even want to have a conversation. I'm not talking present company excluded, but just all the, he's going to save us, she's going to save us. Fuck off. No, they're not. Like, they're both awful. And anyone, listen, I get, again, making a lesser of two evils argument, objectively, I can see it both ways. But anyone who thinks either of these people are going to be good presidents are wrong. One other point, I'm gonna make one thing that is not sticking up for Harris, but it's to detract from some of the comments I've heard about Harris, that I've been hearing about Harris. Yes, she's part of the current administration, which has been a fucking dumpster fire. However, as soon as I hear all of you start giving Pence flowers for everything great you thought Donnie did, then I'll gladly accept how much blame you want to give her right now. VPs don't have that much power. They don't develop too much policy.
But when they're assigned a task, then it is their responsibility.
You want to talk about a single task? Yes.
I mean, Pence wasn't a bad VP.
Those were her tasks, the border and Ukraine. Literally, those were her tasks.
Correct. So you can talk about those two tasks, but that's not, and I hear stuff like that on this show. I don't hear that in the general discourse. It's like, oh, she's part of the problem, inflation. It's like, no, where was your praise for Pence?
She was the deciding vote on 33 bills in the Senate.
Yeah. On the Inflation Reduction Act, she was the final vote
on
the thing that raised her inflation.
She's the reason why there's tax on tips.
Exactly.
All right, Jay, if you don't mind, you can stick around, but I want to make sure. And Shelly, I know soon you've been here, but I got a short window for our other guests that I have not seen on a screen in years. So we're gonna. And I don't. Did he ever do it now? Did he ever do a show with Cash? I don't think he did.
No, he did not.
Post Cash.
Only when Cash would call in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Kevin LaRusso in the building.
Well, hello, everybody.
Kevin,
can you hear me?
If anybody remembers Kevin, I know it's first off, you're engaged, you're not married right now, right?
I am currently engaged. For those of you who were around for the story of going up the mountain and getting struck by lightning and then getting tons of crap from it from the panel, we are engaged to be married next year. So
wait, when did I give you crap for getting electrocuted?
No, so we went up it was the first date that we went on, and I told you guys about it, you know, how it was very special and everything like that, and then you guys gave me tons of crap, and I was like, no, I don't want her to, you know, I don't want to scare her off, and it turns out I didn't scare her off, and so now we are engaged.
So after the last episode, congratulations that you did with us. It was about 6 months or a year later or whatever it was, you know, because it all kind of fell apart with the Uvalde, which ironically that was back in the news today. That was like the summer where we all just wanted to kill each other between Suni and Kevin and I and all that stuff. But you and I ended up having lunch, and we had lunch with Kelly. We had a great time out in Colorado. But we started talking also recently, and again, the whole point of the show, welcome everybody back for 200 episodes, all that fun stuff.
Congratulations!
I did ask you the question because we were talking about the shit show, and you only have a couple minutes or a minute or two.
I've got a little bit more. She just texted me. She's going to be about 10 minutes, so I should be okay.
So I want you to answer this. Then we'll go to Chelly and Suni, and if anything pops up. We went through the whole shit show going on, and I did ask the question. So, are you currently still a Trump voter? And you never answered the text. So, because you're an anarchist, you're an independent. We know where you're very, you know, independent. So where do you stand politically right now?
I stand politically in the very beautiful position that I don't have to do anything. I'm living in California at the moment, so my vote doesn't matter. So it does not, I do not have to take a position. Honestly, though, after the first assassination attempt, the moment when he got up and he took a bullet, got up, and his response was immediately to address the crowd. That's something that can't be taught. That's not something a narcissist does. That's not narcissistic behavior. A narcissist in that situation where they're threatened, where they're feeling like their life's in danger. Guess what? My life is the only thing that matters. Therefore, get me out of here kind of deal. But there was something very triumphant in that moment that made me actually like, you know what? I might not agree with his policies, but I do support him as a leader in this situation. And it kind of changed my mentality a little bit. With how I viewed Trump now. I still think that the fact that we have Trump versus Harris is not a good sign for this country. But at the end of the day, I think it's a pretty obvious choice that Trump is the best leader that's on the ballot right now.
So forgive me for interrupting real quick, because this is one of the many conversations that I had the other night. And they brought up the first assassination attempt. And they told me that was the most selfish thing they had ever seen in their entire life. They said, how can you stand for a man that literally didn't think about the followers around him, thinking about somebody who had been killed? And I go, do you think that he knew somebody had been shot and killed? And they go, he should have known with bullets flying past him that somebody would probably be hit. I go, you're fucking high. So then they said, and the fact that he didn't care, I said, well, he was told that it was all clear. We heard the message. It was all clear when he raised his fist. And they legitimately thought that was an actual sign of narcissism. I think it's funny you said that. It's not narcissistic. That was the comment that they said. And I said that I go, have you ever been shot at? They said, no. And I said, well, that's hilarious, because how would you know how you would react? And the fact that you're judging that, well, I just expect more out of a leader. I found that to be one of the dumbest parts of the 2.5 hours of my conversation. So, and I saw Jay, who dipped his head when I said that, like, you got to be kidding me. Like, no. I mean, you were in agreement with me. Like, to judge somebody for how they reacted after taking a bullet to an ear, it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, how do you? Come on.
I just want to say that every single time that I've been shot at, I shot back.
My man.
Yeah, Trump needs to be up there with a rifle.
Just saying. So shout out to Trump. You know, that's Jay, or not Jay, Kevin. I don't know you.
Yes, sir.
But you know what?
Yes,
You're
sir.
all right, bro. I was getting ready to hit you with so many boos right now, and then you just kept saying the right thing. It was reasonable. I'm like, all right, you got it.
Are you still doing the radio show?
No, I'm not. Law school has taken up literally all of my time, so I don't really have the opportunity to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it, so I'm not doing that. There's, they've asked me if I want to do some appearances, but honestly, Right now, I have such limited amounts of time that it's just, I want to be speaking on things, but at the same time, I'll be honest, taking a break from politics is really nice on the mentals. It's really good because it is right now it's so hard to distinguish between what is, how much this politics is going to actually affect your real life. And obviously right now it's having a pretty major impact. But at the end of the day, the people that are in your life on a day-to-day basis are the ones that are going to have the biggest impact. And if politics is getting in the way of you being able to enjoy that time, you need to take a break, you need to take a breath. But I miss coming on here and shooting the shit with you guys. I really do.
I've given you the invite. The invite is always open on Tuesday nights if you just feel like you want to blow off some steam.
Well, the thing is that you start at 4 and I'm sitting in the parking lot at school because I don't get off class today until 4:30. So, I mean, I can give you my weekend updates in the car, but otherwise it's unfortunately a little bit difficult on the timing. But I miss you guys, Suni, Casey. What's your name? Tony? Yeah, Tony. It's good to see you, Cash. It's a pleasure to finally actually meet you. I've only heard you through the phone calls when you were.
Oh, that's right. You did a couple of the call-ins, and we have another Italian now. We got Emila Magamangione up in the corner.
That is the most Italian name I've ever heard in my life.
Which is ironic because she's Pakistani. So there's that. Masquerades and Italian. Well, Kevin, thank you. Last question, and then we're gonna get to Chelly and Suni. Who do you think wins in November? I know we don't need, your vote doesn't matter in California. Who do you think wins in November?
Well, my gut instinct is that it's going to be Trump, but that is dependent on only one key thing, which is Trump voters realizing that the only way to get past the guaranteed to occur meddling that's going to, that people are going to do, you have to vote in such overwhelming numbers. I was a political strategist. I did lobbying. I had intimate knowledge of how minuscule these margins are. I'm telling you, in a election where 150 million votes are going to be cast, it legitimately comes down to 20,000 votes in a county, 10,000 in another. It is crazy. We're talking less than 500,000 votes in very specific areas will determine the election. And so you have to vote in overwhelming numbers to ensure that the small things, they can't just change 10,000 votes, or they can't, discredit 5,000 votes and win the entire election. You have to overwhelmingly vote. Otherwise, it's you're doomed. So
let me say one thing before you go. And Jay, I know you rolled your eyes at this. So I was talking to my good buddy this weekend, and he's Mexican. His family is Mexican. Ironically enough, this is the outlier in terms of this, but the bulk of his family that's illegal. I mean, he's a conservative himself. Funny enough, and I don't think this is normal, but he has several family members with Social Security cards and voter registration, and this is firsthand now that I have that. Ironically enough, they're illegals that are going to be Trump voters. Funny enough, which I find completely odd, and he knows that that's beyond the outlier because they're no longer afraid of being deported because they know if they don't break the law, they won't be deported. That's literally the message he has. But to tell you how easy it is to vote for the right amount of money for a few bucks. They were able to get Social Security cards of people that had just passed away. So if you're wondering if that is a real thing, I can tell you firsthand from this weekend, that is a very, very, very real thing. And I think this is a very rare occasion that somebody is going to be a Trump voter out of that group, out of fear of being deported out of this country. So just so you know, Jay, it is real. It is very, very real.
One quick thing before Kevin hops off. I grew up in California. This will be my first presidential election that I voted in because I was registered to vote in California. I thought my vote didn't matter. I'm volunteering on Trump's campaign, and their big thing is get out the vote. And they said it doesn't matter if you're in a hard blue state. The popular vote matters. Your voice matters, and the popular vote helps drive the swing state. So I'd encourage anybody, vote, have a say in what your life is going to be. And we are thankful to live in a country where your voice does matter. Use it.
Yeah,
love it.
I would agree with that. And for most of you, you're going to be living in areas where your vote matters more than you would ever know. California, not one of those
I
places.
know, I
But
know.
for the most part, for 90% of this country, your vote
But
very,
if
very,
Trump
very much
wins the
matters.
popular vote, if Trump wins the popular vote, it's a different, because then there's because people, no matter if Trump wins or not, if he loses the popular vote, a lot of people are go like, he's still not the vote of the people, and then we still have to fight that. So,
Yeah.
Kevin, I know you're going to vote. It's not like you're not going to vote. You just don't really care to talk about it as much. I know you're going to vote.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. But you guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to try to make it so that you guys can see me again in the future. I'll try to be on again in the future. But thank you guys for having me. It was an absolute pleasure seeing you guys again, and congratulations on 200.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being a part of it for all that time. Take it easy, Kevin.
See you,
Later,
buddy.
guys. Peace.
All right, we've made. How do we still have 8? Yeah. All right, we've made Shelly and Suni. I'm gonna unmute both of you guys right now. Jake, please stick around because I love your reactions to our bullshit. Unless you got to go. So Suni, we made you wait. What's going on in your world?
Nothing. I'm back in the States.
No
Finally.
shit. Oh, I think
back
Cash
in
said
the
that last
States.
week. So are you in Kakalaki?
No, I'm in Las Vegas.
Las Wages. No shit.
I'm in Las Vegas, yeah.
Why out by the base?
Yeah, well, that's where we got stationed, yeah.
Got it. Got it. All
so
right.
we're going to be here. Don't know how long we're going to be here, but this is home for the next couple years. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting 3.5 weeks of being back home, for sure.
Oh, you just got home.
I just got home, yeah. Literally just got home.
Wow. Shelly, I'm going to unmute you real quick. So did you see Cash's response to Tyreek Hill last week?
Mm-mm. No,
Cash-
I didn't.
Cash was pro Tyreek Hill last night. Last week.
That's not true.
I
That
mean,
is not
sure
true.
you were pro.
I said that
Emily.
Tyreek Hill was wrong, but
Emily,
that cop
did you
was an
say that the
asshole and
cops
he was
were-
wrong too.
Did he say the cops were in the wrong last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one cop. I said he
The
was
one
in the
guy,
wrong.
yeah.
He was an asshole.
The angry guy.
Yeah, but when you
Yes.
when you say cops, that's more than one.
No, I said that cop. The angry cop. I specified it. I said the angry cop
What does
was an
angry
asshole.
mean,
And he
Cash?
was. He was an asshole.
Okay, but is being an asshole wrong?
No, they were both assholes.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I don't know the whole situation. I didn't know what you said about it, but
No, I said
just
that
saying
Tyreek
people
Hill was
tend
wrong for his little speeding or whatever he was doing and being an asshole, not opening the window. But I also said that he has the right to not open his window. He doesn't have to get out of his car when they tell him to get out of his car unless they're putting him under arrest, which they didn't say. And for that one cop, once he did get him out the car and put him on the floor, he goes and muffs his head and goes back up to him talking crazy. That's an asshole. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're abusing your power. That's how I
I
felt
agree.
about it. Yeah.
I agree. I just thought you said cops.
No,
Cop.
the first cop I said was all right. I said that one cop, but the angry cop is what I named him. The angry asshole cop.
Do you think it was race related?
No, he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
There was nothing
I
to
think-
indicate that race played a factor in that. It was just him
Yeah.
being an asshole cop.
I think he got treated better than most people would personally. So that's just
I think
me.
he was in his feelings a little bit because he felt like I'm the authority and you're supposed to do what I say, blah, 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 blah. And he reacted. He had a knee-jerk reaction. He was acting like a Democrat.
The
Look
cop
at
for
that. Shelly agreed with me, Rousseau. Your plan failed.
I don't think
Take
she
that.
knows. But she
Plan
said she doesn't
failed?
know the whole details. But
Take
personally,
that. Take
I think
that,
it's bullshit.
caterpillar mustache having ass guy.
Suni, would
Oh,
you think
Jesus.
You got
Before
you
we
got to
get
be
into-
able to call
before-
a spade a spade. You
Thank
got to be
you.
able to
Before we get
call a
into
spade
the-
a spade.
the presidential race, Suni, what is your thought on the Tyreek Hill situation?
I don't talk about anything close to that anymore. I have no clue what you guys are talking about. I briefly saw like footage, but I just keep scrolling. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
See, this is the time. So, Free, like, how do you de-escalate a situation when the person is constantly escalating? You put them on the ground and you cuff them. That's what you do. That's how you de-escalate a dipshit.
I can
Like-
see if it was a violent crime that was committed. It was a fucking speeding ticket, Russo.
And
a
an
speeding
entitled-
Wait,
and
he
an
pulled him out of
entitled
the car for
Jesus
a speeding
Christ.
ticket?
No,
yeah.
he
I mean, no,
disobeyed.
it's not that.
He
It's more than
rolled up
that. He was
his
being an
window.
asshole. Tyreek Hill was acting like an entitled fucking rich kid. Let's be real.
Yes,
An entitled
yes.
asshole. So when the cops come up, they're telling him, roll down your window or whatever. Tyreek Hill rolled his window up and he said, roll down your window. He said no. So he starts beating on his knocking on his car or whatever. So the cop, he goes, man, stop beating on my motherfucking car or some shit. He's talking crazy to the police. Then the police says, open the fucking door. Black ass nigga. I'm just playing. He didn't say that. But I'm just kidding. I just made that part up. I made that part up.
He opened up the car. You skipped the initial part. The cop came up, tapped on his window, said license registration. He was going 60 in a construction zone, which I believe was a 35 is what they ended up saying. He said license and registration, and Tyreek goes, don't knock on my window. Don't bang on my window. He said it 6 or 7
times. He said stop beating on my window. It's a very expensive car.
He tapped on the window.
Oh Jesus!
He tapped
Worked
on the
hard
window.
for that car.
It for Tyreek.
You know how many hits he took to get that
Wait
car.
a minute though, I'm still confused at like why this person's in handcuffs for a speeding ticket in an attitude. Like
Because he
what?
rolled up the
started
window on
yelling
the
at the police
cop.
officer. He wouldn't roll down the window. In the state of Florida,
crime?
in that area, it is illegal to not roll down the window. The cop asked multiple times. He refused.
What a dumb law.
And he goes, "We're gonna go." He goes, "We're going to pull you out of the car. We're gonna ask you to get out of the car." He wouldn't budge. So when he opened it, I think at that point Tyreek was about to get out of the car, and he got pulled out. The cop was a little fresh.
Pulled out. Bro.
See what they're not telling you is, when you finish up the story, Tyreek Hill is the one that opened up the door. He opened the door, and the police yanked the door open and grabbed him out, and then took his nightstick and he started beating on top of Tyreek Hill's head.
But you heard
it was a
Tyreek's
Rodney King
interview, right?
in effect.
Are you? Wait a minute. Are you for real?
Did you hear
No,
Tyreek's
I'm
interview though?
I'm being funny now.
Tyreek said he didn't want the window down
Hold on.
because he didn't want people to know who he was.
Matt, go ahead.
You saw Tyreek's interview, right? On
Yeah.
ABC or wherever it was. He rolled the window back up because he didn't want people knowing who he was. How is that?
It's because he's got 72 baby mamas probably chasing him down for some money.
But you're pulled over by a cop and you tell a cop,
what kind of statement is that? First
You
off,
gotta
let me
look
tell
up
you
Tyreek
something.
Hill. Look up
Let me tell you
Tyreek Hill
something.
and you'll know why.
Tyreek Hill got enough money to take care of all his damn kids, bro. All right, that's not what it was. He's an entitled rich asshole. There's a bunch of entitled rich assholes, and they come in all different colors. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a race thing. What happened was he's entitled. He felt like he's above the law because he got this nice car and some money, more money than all of us that are here right now. You know what I'm saying? And he just thought that he can say what the fuck he wanted to the police. Plain and
I
simple.
just love that everybody's response though to this is the cop should, like, if he couldn't de-escalate in a better way, it's like, how do you de-escalate when the person is not allowing you to de-escalate? Like, this is the behavior of the perp that is the problem. And I said this last week. This is an issue of a role model. This shouldn't be a role model. I know that, but that's the world we live in. A role model that is going to get other young black men that do not have the money, do not have the clout, going to get them in trouble because they think that they could do what Tyreek Hill did, which is, I ain't rolling up my motherfucking window. Fuck you. Fuck you. Blah, blah, blah. Don't
I
tap
think
on
the
my
cop
window.
just had a Napoleon complex and a short man complex in his pants. You know how the uptight racist white cops are.
Cash
You know.
is the only person here telling the story correctly. Cash is 100% right about this. Tyreek Hill's a piece of shit.
Yes.
And he was an asshole, but so was the cop. These things aren't mutually exclusive. They can both be dickheads. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
I just want to share. Actually, I had a friend reach out to me, and she lived in the same apartment complex as Tyreek Hill when the cops called at him for beating his girlfriend and breaking the kid's arm. It doesn't have anything to do with the story, but she's like, I've always hated that guy because we got woken up in the middle of the night. Cops, whatever happened. So I was like, oh, this guy's not great. But I agree. If the cop's an asshole, he's an asshole. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, you have to, if you want to play devil's advocate, which I like to do, cops should be held to a higher standard. They need to act great in every situation, and that one maybe didn't. So,
but again, he could have waited a minute for him to get out of the car. I guess he could have waited 30 seconds. So I guess the only thing he didn't do is wait enough time, I guess, beforehand. Why are we always kowtowing to who is the criminal in the situation. He didn't get
He wasn't
tased.
a
He didn't get
criminal.
beat.
He was
didn't
not
get
a
hit.
fucking criminal.
He wasn't a criminal.
It's an
Being
infraction. It's not a
It's an
fucking
infraction.
crime.
Correct.
It
He's not a
becomes
criminal.
that you're committing a crime when you are breaking the law of Florida.
No,
which
that is
maybe
not
you
a
don't
law.
understand.
Can I
Law,
just
that is
have
an
the police
infraction.
officers
It's an
address that?
in fucking fraction. There's a
Okay,
difference
hold on
between
a
breaking
second,
the
hold
law.
on a second. Hold on a
Let's let
second.
the
So it
cop
depends
talk.
on what municipality you're in. So one, he is breaking the law by violating the rules of the road. That is what the probable cause for the stop is. That's one.
That's an ordinance.
Hold on. Can I finish?
Shut up, Kamala.
I'm speaking.
Second, hold on. And I'm not defending the cop's behavior in any way. I'm just trying to give you some context around it. So that's one. He violates the law, okay? Second, he refuses to give his license and registration. Now you are breaking the law because those three together give the officer the right to actually place him in custody under arrest. What the cop should have did is just take it to the point where at that point, if you cannot control yourself and your feelings are elevated, have the other cop take over as the business officer so he can conduct himself in a professional manner. If that does not work and he does not follow orders, then you call a supervisor. At that point, they are going to either mace him or remove him physically from the vehicle. That's it.
I wasn't
Very
aware that he
simple.
refused to give his license and registration. I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, he handed over his driver's license.
Oh,
but he
that's what the
immediately
fuck I
rolled
thought.
out the window.
Initially, he did not. That's what I'm saying. So those three things kind of elevated to a different point where now it's an arrest. So there's very different things if you're just citing him, right? If you're just citing him because you give me your license as a bond, basically, so that I can give you the ticket and you go about your day and I will go about my day. But if
You know what's
have
funny?
nothing,
He would have just. He
if
probably
you
wouldn't have
have
even got a
nothing
ticket
to-
if he would have said my bad and been halfway decent to the cop. But whatever.
Or if the cop didn't come up and start beating on his windshield like a
He
lunatic.
didn't beat on his window, for fuck's sake. All right, Emily, you got to go. Say goodbye. Do your
Bye,
thing.
everybody. Nice
But where
meeting
can
you.
everybody find you, Emily?
Matt. You can find me on X at Emily Mangione and Instagram, Emily Mangione23. I guess do X for now because I'm applying for jobs, so I put my Instagram as private.
Smart move.
That's a very, very smart move.
Gotta play the. I get a little unhinged on Instagram, so I gotta lock it down.
Smart. All right, Mangione, take it easy. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right.
Dude, that's crazy what she's talking about. I had that same situation. I literally had to get rid of my LinkedIn to get hired for a job because when you are any kind of politics on the right, I mean, literally, I lost 3 jobs where I got all the way to the president of the company, and they're like, "You're the wrong culture. We saw your LinkedIn page." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Are you kidding me?" It was crazy, and they told me straight out. I'm like, "Well, I mean, if I were black or Hispanic or something, I'd probably get hired." Right, I'd probably get hired if I was a different shade, I guess. I don't know.
Speaking of a different shade, Suni, what's so all right, so you're out of the what have you if you're not doing as much political conversation, so what are you doing these days?
I do a lot of political discussions. I have political discussions from an American's perspective. I don't take sides on the Republican side. I don't take sides on the Democrat side. I'm more of a who's going to do the job the best? Who do we need to get in Congress to do the job the best? And let's pay attention to policy.
So who's going to do the job the best right now?
Trump. Of course, it's Trump. Look, I don't like Trump. All right. I don't like the things he supports. I don't like how much he's changed. And this is no secret. But he's the best guy for the job. It is what it is.
I agree.
So
I don't know.
My vote's going to be placed.
So Matt and I both know Chad pretty well. So I don't know if people saw this. He lost 5 gigs in Kansas City because he specifically made fun of Kamala's. How am I saying it wrong? Kamala.
I call her Camel Toe myself.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Kamala's fake.
Camel Toe.
Do you guys
she
think
did her
that's
fake black
okay
accent. He
to
ended
make
up
fun of
getting. He
people's
lost.
accents?
Say it
Do
again,
you guys
Jay.
think that's okay to make fun of people's accents and to make fun of
What
blowjobs
accent?
and to make fun of their skin color? Like,
Well, I mean,
No,
she
I do
sucked
not
dick.
think it is
Look,
funny to make fun of people's names.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. She sucked dick to get to the top.
No, she didn't.
I don't know if we can say
Hang on,
that. I
time
don't
out,
know
time
if
out,
we
time
can
out.
say that on
Hang on
YouTube
a
or
second. I'm not
Facebook.
saying she didn't sleep with anyone. She was a prosecutor for 20 years. Are you saying she sucked dick every level? I mean, come on,
God,
this
you
is
guys are
ridiculous
killing
statement.
me.
Ridiculous
Every level. She slept with a man to get
Prove
to
it.
the top. She
Prove it.
was Montel Williams' side piece. I can give you all the proof you want. Give me your email.
This is,
I got proof
I'll
out
throw
the
it in
back door.
I'll throw it in the chat.
I'm rather vanilla these days. Whoa.
I'll throw it in the
She
chat.
literally, and I'll be honest with you, she literally used her feminine charms to get to where she's at. And look, I don't blame her for it.
Right.
Because if I could do it, I would do it too. But
What a double standard.
it's not a double standard. She
No.
literally sucked dick to get to the top.
Let's say what you're saying is true. Let's say, for the sake of argument, what you're saying is true. Let's pretend.
What is
Let's
true?
pretend what you're saying. Okay, whatever. Fine. Let's just pretend what you're saying is true. So you have a problem with that, but you
Where's
don't
the
have a
bleep
problem
button?
with Trump's.
Oh,
sexual
I don't have
morality.
any problem. Look, I don't have any problem with her using her feminine charms to get to the top. That's why I call her camel toe. It isn't anything demeaning. That's what she
You don't
did to
think that's
get there.
demeaning?
You
You
she
don't
she
think
did
it's
it to
demeaning
get there.
call a presidential
It is a
candidate
hair
call any
demeaning.
woman camel toe?
It's hair demeaning? Just
You don't
camel
think that's
toe.
demeaning?
I don't think it's demeaning.
I'm not saying it's not funny.
It
All
is
I'm
funny.
saying is it's like, oh, I got, someone lost job opportunities. It's like, well, yeah, you fucking idiot. You can't do that shit on a public platform. Like,
I don't see. Listen, I
Free
hate
speech
when
is free
I
speech.
gotta say this. I cannot understand for the life of me why people say, "Oh, is you think it's okay just to disrespect a woman like that?" What the fuck makes a woman not be able to be disrespected? I don't give a damn what your gender is. I don't care what you identify as. If I want to talk shit, I'm gonna talk shit, and I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to talking shit.
They
I don't
called
care
Trump
about your
Hitler.
race. None of that.
You're gonna call
Right.
somebody
Equal
Hitler.
rights.
You're gonna call somebody the end of democracy. You're gonna talk shit. Why not
I
call
agree.
it?
I mean, I could
talk
tell.
your shit, but you're also going to suffer the consequences. You can't be like mad if someone's like, yo, like you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, yes, talk your shit.
Yeah, I can because I can say it's freedom of speech, bitch. Get with it. That's what I can say. I can say whatever the fuck I want to, as long as I am not in a setting that is yours, like your private domain, or as long as I'm not making malicious, like trying to take you out with my verbiage. It's none of that.
Exactly.
If I want to say, fuck camel toe, she smells like curry, she's not gonna win the election, so don't worry. You know what I'm
Let me
saying? I can
say
say
it.
that. I can say that if she gets in there, she's gonna turn the White House into a fucking call center. You know, I can say those kind of things because it's freedom of speech.
Facts, bro.
And it's not racist. It's not none. If
He's
if
gonna
we can sit up
clog
here
the
and
drain in the White House bathroom by making collard greens in the tub.
yeah,
She was hired. She was hired because of her female part and the pigment of her skin. Joe Biden said it. You can be mad all you want.
I'm not
Joe
mad
Biden
about
literally
anything.
said he was going to hire a woman of color to be his vice president.
Straight up said it.
Her IQ is like 65.
She was a
She's
DEI
not smart.
selection.
I don't think
Yeah.
she's smart either, by the
At
way.
all.
If she's 65, then Trump's 66. Fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah.
After that debate, I wouldn't say that you're too off on that.
I'm not gonna. His intelligence, I don't know either. I just know between the two, he's a way better pick than she is, and he has 4 years of actual record, and she has 4 years of record. It speaks for herself.
They're both.
100%.
All right,
I
real
agree.
quick, guys. Liddell, we just brought you on. Good to see you. Hold on a sec, because she's been here the whole show in the back room. Besides the police thing we talked about, Shelly, give your opinion on where we are, who's going to win the election, what you think of the debate, and then you go ahead and get out of here.
So I think that we're in the shitter still. I think somebody spoke earlier on it about like the only thing for Kamala was her being the border czar and also the thing with Ukraine. Those are not little things. Those are ginormous issues
Facts.
that need to be addressed. Like they should be on the forefront. Americans should be first. I don't care about people's feelings anymore at this point. You guys know I'm like in between. I'm an independent. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I will vote based on policy going forward. But I believe that his experience in the White House has me at Trump 2024. Like the immigration thing is a mess. The deflections by them are a mess. There's no actual policy. that are going to make us great again. I don't think either one of them are going to save us because we've been in the shitter for so long. He was in there for years and he did his best to bring us some kind of relief, but I don't think either one is going to save us. As far as the debate, I think she handled herself better than I expected, to be honest. But that being said, how many lies did I count myself? 7. That can be fact checked, which they were not.
Yep.
So there's that. Yeah, I just feel like it's going forward. I think people have already kind of decided pretty much who they're going to vote for. I don't feel a debate is going to sway people in either direction at this point. But I myself personally am at the point where I am tired of the fucking hate comments in my comment section. I am tired of the ridiculous rhetoric that I have Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know Trump. I'm never going to meet Trump. I respect the policies, and I think that is going to be the best way for us as Americans to move forward. That's what we have. Him or Kamala.
I heard that. Big facts.
I love it, Shelly. Are you still doing any shit, like any of your own content or anything like that? Or are you just trying to survive as a police officer in Chicago?
I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to retire. I can't wait 2 more years to get the hell out of this shit.
How's your Hubs? Is Hubs all right?
He's doing great. He's actually outside cleaning the rest of the boat. But
love it.
I want
So tell him the truth. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. Thriving in Chicago.
You know what? Like, my husband and I are thriving, but we work hard. Like, we work super hard. My husband retired 2 years ago now. So he has a boat now and he's kind of doing that little thing. So all the summer he's on the lake. I want to throat punch him every time I go to work.
You can't say threats like that. Well, you'll get us removed.
I love how
specific
that is.
I want to. I'm not really gonna do it. I'm just saying. But yeah, and I feel like the hate this time around is so much deeper that I just don't want to be nice anymore.
I feel you. It's rough.
I hear that.
It gets hard.
So I'm not doing my own content, anything like that. I've kind of veered away. And it's just been a little more like I got my last baby just went off to college. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to like reset, regroup, maybe going forward. I know I've talked to Suni about coming on her show a couple times. She knows I love her so much. And I've been trying to talk to Cash. Like, we try to get together on Sundays, but Sundays for the boat is Saturdays and Sundays are crazy in Chicago.
Well, you let me know when you're ready. I will make a show around your schedule.
And
Straight
anyways,
up.
I just want to say I love you guys. For the new guys, hi, I'm Chelly. Casey, you know I love you too.
Love you too.
I miss you guys, and hopefully
I miss
see
you too.
guys soon.
You got to come to the
sounds
house.
good,
I'm
Shelly.
going to call you tonight after we're done.
All right.
Love you,
Thanks,
sister.
Shelly.
Love
Take
you
it easy.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Dad, what's up, man? Here, I just unmuted you. Wait,
Baby,
both
here you go.
unmuting and muting him. What's up,
It's all
dog?
good, man. Looking better than you. It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Yes.
It is all good. You see the swag. You see the color coordination. I
Dripping.
made this whole thing better. If you guys have some stock when it comes to Russo's company, buy it right now. It's went up 25% because I'm here.
You
know what's funny?
To get cash. Anthony, please. He plumbets the stock. Me.
Well, I almost didn't invite you because I forgot, because I was like, we only did Blunt Force Discussion. I forgot you did a whole bunch of shows when I was gone that summer. You've been on a whole bunch of these. I totally forgot. So you were the last person I invited. So I apologize. I did invite one. I did invite Blake, but he never responded. So besides that, everybody that's there.
Forget Blake. Today is my wife's birthday, so I got to make it really quick.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Give us a breakdown of everything, Liddell.
Vote Trump 2024. Easy. Kamala Harris is a buffoon, right? If you vote for Kamala Harris, you need to be tested for COVID. Number 2, if you vote for Kamala Harris and you don't know where she stands, and you listen to how she talks, guys, to be honest with you, the Hebrew word, the Bible calls you foolish. The word foolish in Hebrew means stupid. So it means you're a stupid person. Yeah, I said it. And at the exact same time, sooner you know I love you to death. But at the exact same time, I said this here, guys. I think that I think that here's my theory concerning this. There's a reason why Newsom is not running or Westmore, because really their dream ticket is Newsom Westmore. That's their dream ticket. That's a 2028 ticket. That's a tough ticket to beat. Notice Newsom stepped back after Biden stepped down because of the fact that it was Kamala's turn, right? According to their so-called rules. Well, she's an easy fall lady because she's horrible. She's a terrible politician. So she's easy to say, oh, well, we lost because it was Kamala's fault. They'll never own any problem at all, period. Politicians don't own problems. They just say it's your fault. But notice she raised a lot of money, and that money has been floated through Act Blue. Why Act Blue? It's very simple. Act Blue has, in the charter language, money can be moved in any place they want it to be moved to. Any place. So what's the fastest way to get rid of Trump? It's simple. Allow him to win, but you've been funded so much, you can now fund all of the chaos, all the riots, all stuff. It can now be funded because why? Buffoons gave money because this is the first Black woman running for president who's accomplished nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Oh, me and Sunni and Cass were responding to her interview with the NABJ, what it's called. It was, man, this lady is I mean, this lady, and I try to be respectful because she is the vice president. She's a moron. She's just not smart at all. But the Democrats have won 2 elections that way. Senator Fetterman, as well as Joe Biden. You're running against a system, not the candidate. The candidate is just a figurehead. That's all it is. But that's all I want to say, y'all. Hey, take the picture for your mom and them, and sooner you know I look better than everybody on this panel. Don't shout me down.
Liddell, who wins in November?
Trump.
You still think he wins? All right, good.
It's going to be very close because they're going to manufacture some stuff. But the good thing about it is Trump can know that already. And this whole damn. Okay, I was like, damn. Okay, Jay, right here. What's up, Jay? How you feeling, big dog?
I knew Jay was going to be going like this or this or this.
So, Jay, this is why I say Trump was going to win. It's because of the fact that after the second assassination attempt, I wouldn't say it's in the bag, but seeing how they're responding and beginning to blame him for assassination. And I'm like,
they are.
NBC.
NBC, ABC, the legacy media, the Democrats, all the Democrat politicians. That's fine, but the media, that's fine. The media is doing that, and now the voter, the independents are saying, "Wait a minute, this ain't making no sense." To see that,
that's what's making them decide.
Weird. But it's wild how they've turned it into a gun issue on the right, because now it's the gun again. But you notice the guy that tried to take a pop shot at the golf course only got like a very minor thing, like gun possession, instead of attempted murder. It's odd how. So once again, Liddell's right. The language, the left will control language for chaos, division. They're doing it, and you're running against the machine. That's a good way to put it.
Really good way to put it.
It's a machine. Can't she win? Yes, she can win. Not by no means am I saying this is in the bag.
Yes, she can.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but I think Trump will pull it out.
Can I say
impressive?
This?
Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say, like, this is sort of an apolitical statement, but this is just more for the health of the country. Regardless of who wins the presidency, I think the best thing that could happen for America, just for some healing, I honestly don't care who wins at this point. I just want it to be a blowout so we can just move past any tomfoolery, any fuckery. We don't have to talk about voting. I would love for it to just be a blowout. So that just becomes a non-issue moving forward. I mean, listen, regardless of who wins, I would just, for America, I would like that. Like, just forget about it. You know what I mean? Forget about who wins. I would just like that.
So can I ask you a question, Jay? Seriously, I'd like to hear your answer.
Yeah.
So would you be for ID for voting and paper ballots? Would you be for that?
Yeah, that should not be a partisan issue. The Democrats have made that a partisan issue.
Fair enough.
ID voting should not be a partisan issue. It's a common sense issue.
Okay.
And did you guys know that what's his name? A.G. Merrick Garland decided not to charge this guy with assassination.
Well, no, I just said that. No attempted murder. It's weird.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Anyway,
they charge him for a gun crime.
Yeah,
like
he got
having a
because
gun
he's a felon.
illegally. Yeah.
It's because he's a felon.
Yeah, he illegally owned a gun, not for attempted manslaughter, murder, a gun charge.
And not any gun, an AK-47, by the way.
Well, no, it was an SKS. I got in
is that what
trouble.
it was?
Yeah,
They
it was
could-
not an A. I got in trouble for that. I did some
It's
research.
because the banana clip threw everybody off.
Yeah.
There, they charged them with 100 crimes. I don't know what they all are, but it's like over 100 charges.
Is it over 100 charges?
I'm just saying he's got like over 100 charges.
Oh, I only saw 2, so it's okay.
Well,
I
that
didn't
was
see
from the
100.
federal level. The state, DeSantis
Yeah.
is going to go a whole other.
I got you. I didn't see the state charges. Okay,
The
I
state's
saw the
throwing the
federal.
book at him, and I don't know what the feds are doing, but the state's charging him with like everything.
Well, what do you think about the state taking over the investigation? I mean, here you got the
They
FBI
won't.
and the
They won't.
DOJ,
Yeah.
who are
They can't.
literally after Trump, of course.
They
I
can't,
mean,
though.
is it better the state took it over?
But
Yes.
Matt, they can't. It's going to be two different sets. Two
it's the
different
gun.
investigations go at the same time.
Right.
Because the federal the FBI came and said it's our case, and DeSantis says, oh no, we're going to do our own thing. So it's going to be kind of two different investigations going.
Talk about another massive
can't-
failure for the Secret Service, by the way. Where's the Secret?
Terrible.
Like, I know the Secret Service got
Great
all the
question.
deserved shit the first time. Where I don't see those comments this time. Like this a little bit, but not quite as much as the first time. Like the Secret Service should be taking a ton of heat here. I mean, this is
Watch
two
Fox.
failures.
If you're watching Fox, they are.
They are.
Good.
Or
I'm glad about
Bongino.
that.
Dan
Good.
Bongino's all over the Secret
Killing
Service.
them.
I mean, that dude knows that deal. If you listen to Dan, he's been tearing those guys apart.
He's been
Good,
killing
good.
them a whole bunch.
Liddell, go ahead.
Guys, I gotta go, guys. Man, God bless
Hey,
you guys. Russo,
Liddell.
baby, I see you.
Liddell, I don't understand how somebody could be so fresh, so good looking, and so intelligent at the same time, my man. I want to give it up
Hey
for you.
man, his name is Jesus. Talk to him about it. All right, y'all. All right, guys. God bless you
Thanks,
guys.
Liddell.
I go.
Thank you.
Peace out, brother.
It's the first time anyone ever referred to Jesus as fresh.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, Suni. What do you? I mean, again, you think Trump's gonna win? How close do you think it's gonna be?
I don't think it'll be a landslide. I think it's going to be a super close race. I'm factoring in a lot of emotional voters are going to come out just because they don't like Trump. And I'm also factoring in the independent and moderate votes that I think he's gaining. I think every time Kamala opens her mouth, like the interview that we reacted to that she had with the black journalists panel that they did with Trump. Well, they did one with her, and she just blundered it. She blundered it. The way she answered questions was moronic. We stopped so much during this entire discussion because of just how bad and erroneous it was, and lies that she just got caught in. So I think he doesn't have to debate again at this point. I think Trump needs to go ahead and sit on down because he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. That's what it comes down to. I just want him to shut up.
If the media,
Well, they're not debates, by the way. They're not debates. They're political canned speeches. None of them answer. None of them debate the policies. I'll agree with Jay on that.
None of them.
No,
they don't.
it's not a debate, and you know this, Anthony. The moderator gets in there, you ask a question, then you debate policy. You debate why your policy is better than the other side, and you try to win, and that don't happen. It's just canned political crap, and I agree. So, Jay, I will agree. There's a lot of things that Donald Trump does I can't stand. I can't, and it drives me nuts. And so I do
debate
agree
was a
there.
lot.
Trump is not a great debater. I mean, and I had a guest on one time, and she hit it on the nose. She says it's like Trump's brain's like when someone asks him a question and they poke it in there, and all the thoughts fall out at the same time. And it's a great analogy. Trump gets off topic. He's got so much going on in there that everything just falls out at once. And you get it all.
It only happens when they go and they hit his ego.
Oh,
that
no,
was it, because he was doing fantastic right in the beginning of it. He was good. He was on top of it, and you seen his demeanor change when she looked over directly at him and said, "People walk out of his rallies. They don't show you. His rallies suck." You know, whatever. And then she went. He looked at him. Donnie was like, "Okay, first off, hold on. I'm not gonna answer this question. I gotta say, she's a liar. No one goes to her rallies. She doesn't know I have the hugest rallies ever. Everyone knows my rallies are bigger. They're better than every rally that we've ever seen in the history of mankind. This is the truth. She's a liar and Sleepy Joe." And then he started unraveling.
Well, I can tell
you. And she
you.
had SpaghettiOs the next day. We all know what she eats. She doesn't eat real food, SpaghettiOs.
Why
You
is that?
could've
what the
changed-
fuck?
you could have changed the word of her saying he had a small dick, and it would have been like, and you could have just, it would have been the exact same response throughout as the way that he treated it. It was
Guys, that's Trump. That you just, Cash, you just did a great impersonation of Trump because that's who he is. That's why I don't like him. That's why
when he's not when he's able to articulate his thoughts without in a debate setting, right? When he's on a stage, for
conversation.
instance, in a conversation, he is A1 and he gets his thoughts out perfectly fine because there's no agitation. But when you got a female standing across from you that you know is a ginormous piece of shit that is lying about everything, it pisses you off. I understand that. I wasn't even in a debate with her, and I was watching her lie today, and it pissed me off. Like, I started talking shit because I got that mad at the lies that she's telling.
I'll try to find the link and post it here. It was on my TikTok feed the other day. Someone CapCut put together Trump's 2016 performance against Hillary Clinton versus his performance against Kamala Harris. It's shockingly different. Shockingly different.
I don't think it's
so much more competent in 2016.
I don't think it's cognitive issue. I think it's practice. So this is what I've said on radio is the difference between 20. What's that?
He underestimated her. He thought that he was going up against some dumb broad that, I don't got to even study for this one. This is going to be a knockout. I'm going to knock it out the park. That's
Two
what happened.
things. Not only did he underestimate her, but in 2016, there was the primary process. He had been through grueling debates to get him to that point. And in 2023, he chose to back out because he didn't need to.
That's right.
Debating is a skill that takes practice.
Yep.
And on top of not practicing in the debates, he also said he didn't prepare. I was hoping that it was a joke. He clearly didn't prepare. He treated it like a campaign rally, and that was it.
But see, this is the part I don't understand, guys. So listen, I don't disagree with you, but these are things that make him unpresidential. There's a million reasons this Obama was unpresidential.
Oh God, no, Jay, no.
This is a bad sign for someone who's going to run the country. Like, how do we?
I gotta disagree with you.
Like, it can be, you can be right, but that's still not a good thing. Like,
Sunni, why do you disagree?
Debate. He took a presidential debate.
I disagree because we're talking about character. We're talking about how he's dealing with something attached to a woman. Like, I agreed. He sat on the stage with Joe Biden, okay, and extended a crazy amount of grace. That to me shows that this is a person who's in control. Did he have his ego? Somebody took a shot at his ego and he was like, you know what? We will go there. I expected him to stop and redirect, but that's not what he did. He spent the rest of the time defending himself. So I don't care about his character. I care about the man's policies, okay?
Right.
He's talking about things that matter. I can look over you acting like a fool on the stage because I know your policy is going to make up for that. We've already had 4 years of Trump. We've already experienced a Trump presidency. I'm okay with going back to that. It's that simple.
So I can give you, by the way, I want to give you the background here because y'all know I spent 2 years covering every Trump rally in this country. I mean, I was at every rally of Trump, and I can tell you, I was outside, inside there. So the arena, wherever he was at, would hold so many people, right? Outside, there were tens of thousands more. I mean, they had big TVs set up, bullpens. I mean, people are playing cornhole. They're grilling out. I mean, they're coming together. They're sharing stories. But for every rally you see, there's probably 5 or 6 times more people out in the parking lot, number one. They're not leaving Trump rallies. No one ever left Trump's rallies early, number one. And he always closed them. When he first started these rallies, I looked at Tudor Dixon, who used to be my co-host. Remember, she ran for governor in Michigan. Remember that?
Yeah.
I told her in one of the first rallies we covered, I said, this guy is horrible. I mean, he couldn't speak. No, he couldn't speak on a teleprompter.
Yeah.
He didn't go off cuff. It was so clunky that for the first 12 or 15, it's like my ears were bleeding. I mean, it was just ugly. But something turned on about rally number 15, 20, where he got that teleprompter and off the cuff put together. And when he speaks now, it's crazy. The guy, you can say all you want about Donald Trump, don't like his style, don't like the way he talks, don't all that stuff. There's a lot of, the guy's not dumb. Donald Trump is not dumb. Look, I would give any one of you 30, 40, 50 million, however much money his father gave him. he'd turn that into a empire of billions.
Facts.
That doesn't happen if you're dumb.
Yeah.
You're not lucky. Did he have bankruptcies? Of course he did. He used the law to the fullest extent with his whatever university wine, all that stuff. A lot of people have filed bankruptcies on businesses. A lot of liberals, a lot of Republicans, all that stuff. So you can look at Donald Trump. He's rough around the edges, but his policies have been good for this country. And he actually knows what they are. Tell me one policy of Kamala Harris. What is
Trump
the
has
policy?
concepts of policies, right?
No, hold on, wait a minute, Jay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Nah. We got to remember one thing, though, bro. Y'all forgetting one major thing about the whole little debate thing that I wanted to get out. It wasn't just Trump versus Kamala. He had two moderators that was against him.
I agree.
And that's frustrating. Right off the bat, she dodges around the question and he gives an answer and they start coming at him, cutting him off. The whole thing was designed to frustrate him. It wasn't just the fact that he was across from a candidate that he knew was a piece of shit, which was a big one too. But when you got two other moderators sitting right here, and one of them actually was interviewing Kamala before. He was at the debate before, where Kamala told a blatant lie on that stage. And they fact-checked him over something that really wasn't even needed to be fact-checked because it wasn't a fact. It was a statement that was made. And didn't fact check any of the things, one of which you knew for sure was wrong because you were at the debate where she lied in the first place.
I'm less upset that they didn't fact check her and more upset they fact checked him. It's not their job. At the end of the day, it's not their job. They shouldn't have fact checked him or her. It's not their job.
Exactly.
Sunni's got to go, and we're going to wrap up in just a couple minutes anyways. The question becomes, would this be a blowout? Because, Jay, you said it should, I just wish it would be a blowout in one of the directions so that our country can heal a little bit. And I think that I do think it'd be hard for the Trump side to take a blowout the other way. And I don't think it'll get that way because there's a solid group on that side. If they covered, and I'll ask Sunni and Jay first, and then Sunni, I'll give you final words. Do you think if they covered Kamala, because we know that the media right now currently is covering her 95% or more positively, favorably, and Trump 90% or more negatively. Do you think if they were even-handed, just even-handed, do you think this would even be a race right now?
No.
Absolutely not, in my opinion.
No.
It wouldn't be.
I don't know. I mean, I can't. It's hard to speculate that. Honestly, it's hard to speculate that. Also, I mean,
you can speculate the fact that it's tied right now, according to polls, when things are skewed 95% to 90% in opposite directions.
I think what the Harris camp, what the Democrats have done really well politically. This isn't me defending the Democrats. I'm saying that they've done a really smart thing politically. It's what Sunni said that Trump should do. Trump should just stop fucking talking. Let his policies, let his voters do what they're going to do. I mean, Sunni, you're right. And I think that the Harris campaign has done a really good job of that. Everyone's talking about where is she? Why isn't she doing any press conferences? I'm frustrated by that as an American and as a voter. But if I think about that politically, it's really smart. She's a moron. Why would you keep throwing her out there? So you've got some momentum. You got people excited about her. Why would she be doing any more interviews and press conferences? They're doing the right thing politically. So I don't know. It's hard to say because she's not out there. She's not putting herself out there. So it'd be hard for them to cover her equally because what are they covering? She's not saying anything.
Well, you don't have to cover her now. You can cover her 2020 president.
Right, sure. Exactly.
You can cover her in 2016.
Which CNN is doing a little. That's the 4%. It's not ABC. It's not NBC. It's not CBS. It's literally Fox and CNN. A little like a shard of CNN. That's the only thing that's actually covering her a little bit fairly at this point.
CNN's fallen, I think, more than a little bit. They've come back to the center quite a bit.
I wouldn't go that far.
They've come more toward the center. Let's put. I don't know if they're in the center, but you're right. They've come back.
They really have.
That's fair. Sunni, you got to go.
Yeah.
Give us your final words. Yeah. Where can people still find what you do? What nights do you do stuff? Mo was invited, but by the way, Mo's the only one that couldn't make it because she had food poisoning yesterday.
Ooh.
So Mo was invited to this show. So,
oh, poor Mo. Me and Mo actually do a joint show together called Somewhere in the Middle. If you look up Somewhere in the Middle USA on YouTube, you guys can find us there. We have not gone live because I'm getting set up in my new place, but we usually go live on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you guys can catch us there. You can also watch me on TikTok, My TikTok is blown up. I'm so excited to be on there, dude. It's amazing to have conversations with all these different Americans and being able to actually flip a lot of people. There's a lot of people who come over to Trump's side on TikTok alone.
Which is what makes me very confused at the polls. So what, real quick, Sunni, what part of Vegas are you in?
I'm pretty much in North Vegas. I'm in the bougie, nice area.
Like near Henderson?
No,
30
Henderson's
minutes from
south.
Henderson, but it's the other direction.
Yeah,
Oh.
Henderson's south.
Is it south? Tells you how long it's been since I lived in Vegas. Okay. All right.
I'm on the nice
Got it.
side.
All right. So where can you said you could TikTok. So last question about TikTok. With TikTok being as conservative moving as it is, or Trump supporting, do you think it's surprising polls are as close as they are based on what you've seen on TikTok with younger Americans?
That is such a hard question to ask, to be honest with you. I look deeper into polls. I want to see the sample size. I want to see where it took place. That helps me gauge where the country is. Now, do I think it's as close as they're putting up? Absolutely not.
It's not.
Kamala she's still riding that initial wave from like that media hysteria behind her. Megan Thee Stallion being at her rallies. And this debate unfortunately gave her her second win because now she gets to talk about Trump talking about eating cats. I just want the man to shut the fuck up, man. Like, can we win? Just shut up.
They're eating
Let
the
us do all this
dogs.
stuff.
It's the geese.
But this
Thank
is
you
why
guys
they
for
did the
having
whole
me. I
play the way
appreciate
that
it,
they
man.
did. Peace out, Sony.
What was that?
I said this is why they did the play the way that they did with waiting
Okay.
so long for Biden to step down. They did that on purpose so she wouldn't
for
have
sure.
to be in the media that long and people have to pay attention to her past and everything that she hasn't done. So,
Yeah, man.
you know.
I agree with you. Thank you guys for having me.
Good to see you soon. Take it easy. Later.
So do we all understand as common sense people that the memes that Vance and Trump put out about the dogs and cats weren't about the dogs and the cats? Do you find it interesting that the media blew up over the fact that they started memeing about the pets when the actual story here is dropping 20,000 illegal aliens in a town of 50,000?
Tell Trump that.
In
Tell
a
Trump to
bright
make that
red
point.
state. He should. I agree. I will tell you, Jay, in the debate, there were so many times that Trump could have said things to go back after her, and he was so ill prepared to go back after her with COVID, with policies, with the border, with things that he just did not prepare. I agree. He should be saying that. And I agree. Another thing with you too, Trump should just forget Kamala and just tell the country what he's going to do, because he already has a record.
Well,
Just-
he did.
I mean, and I agree, but this whole thing is she is not smart. She is not a good opponent. And if you believe that the polls are 50-50, you're crazy. That they're not close. I mean, I'm getting internal polling out of guys that I know that are in this thing. I mean, Trump's up 4, 5, 6 points in a lot of these swing states. It's not close.
I think this election is going to be incredibly close, and I wish I had the data in front of me. I'll find it and share it with you.
Dude, Nate Silver is saying that Trump is up by 8 points.
Right
Nate
now.
Silver is not a Republican.
Well, Nate Silver looks at the data. He's neither. I mean,
And the data says
no,
Trump
but
is winning by 5 or 6 points.
There's a really interesting data point, and I'll share it in the comment section here. I just have to find it. I didn't have a chance to do it. In the last 7 elections, Republicans have not carried the majority of swing states unless there was a third-party candidate sucking votes from the Democratic Party. So this is a real problem. Like, actually, RFK dropping out of the race might hurt Trump more than it helps him, because RFK is not going to be in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all these other swing states to suck Democratic votes out. And I think that's part of what's making this race closer than people want it to be. And it's part of why this, I think, is going to be a toss-up, because Republicans historically do not carry the majority of swing states without someone to suck Democratic votes. It's just
but on the flip side of that, you have the independent person that was running endorsing this candidate. So a lot of his voter base is going to Trump.
But you're not counting.
But you're cycle, to your point, Cash.
But you're not counting the Hamas vote. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. There is a block out there now that do not like Biden or Harris because of Hamas, Israel, all of that. If you go back and look at the primaries in those states, the uncommitted votes were 80, 90, 100,000. If that goes through the general election, Trump wins easy. And that may be the third party that is missing now. Those votes are there and they don't like Kamala.
I want to address this comment. The thing is, he could have killed it the next day. He could have killed it today. He could have killed it all these different days. It doesn't matter. When he kills it in front of his echo chamber. The debate was his chance to speak to 90 million people and out of that 90 million, 45 of which never get to hear his policies or hear him speak. I don't give a baker's fuck what he did at the town hall the next day. No. I don't care because it's the same stuff. His opportunity was lost. In retrospect, and before, as we're ending this episode, I'm going to ask the people on the panel and I'm going to ask people in the comments because I know there's still people that think he pulled it out in the end. I watched it twice. My emotion, I felt like he might have done okay to win it at the end. I'm personally going to say he did not lose by a field goal. He lost the debate. He lost the debate, period. I still think he will win the presidency. I think the Americans are going to see enough of the fact that Kamala has no policies, but because of his performance at the debate, I will tell you, in my opinion, he didn't kind of lose. He lost the debate. So, Casey, where do you guys stand a week later? Comments, go ahead and put in the comments where you feel, because that was his opportunity to talk about policy, to talk about what Kamala does wrong, to talk about how they're not a real felony, to talk about it was a misdemeanor, to talk about more of his stance on abortion and stop saying that everybody wanted it back to the states. He should have said it was bad law. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said it was bad law. Yes. He should have said that. Not everybody wanted. That is actually false. That is a false statement he made. He made so many mistakes that I can't say that he won the debate. And I can't say that Kamala barely won. It was cheating. It was 3 against 1, but he lost. What did we just lost all of our viewership. What happened?
Uh-oh. Scared them all off.
Oh, there we go. They came back. It popped back.
Oh, there it is.
Something happened. Anyway,
well, Anthony, I'll add my opinion real quick. I don't think he won either. And I think he missed a lot of chances, as you said. It always reminds me, I'm a big Braves fan, right? The Braves never play well when they're on ESPN or they're on a big network on a Sunday night. They always shit the bed. Well, he shit the bed. He was where you're talking about. I mean, you can talk great to me and you, and I mean, I'm going to vote for Trump. What you say is what you say, all of that stuff. You can look good in front of me, but how do you look good in front of the nation, right? In front of the people that he needs to flip. Because he needs to flip people, right? We need, and we're seeing where the African-American vote looks to be 15 to 20%. We're seeing Hispanic vote that seems to be somewhere around 45 to 50. You know, you need to keep flipping those votes. You need to keep flipping the middle. And I don't know if there's that many in the middle left, but there still are. And you still need to do well in front of them. I don't think he got killed.
I don't think
but he also had the debate. I'll tell you, he also had a debate both of the moderators, which in the end, it put a little tinge on it. People see it. What were people talking about on social media afterwards? How the moderators got in the middle of it. I think Trump lost, but I think the moderators actually helped him by being idiots.
But I mean, that's a plausible excuse. Do you think he should? Last question, Matt. Do you think he should debate again?
I don't think they're not debates. I mean, I've said this before. I mean, I've watched them because I do the show. It's a waste of time. It's not two candidates going, here is my policy, here's how I'm going to do it, here's what it's going to do for you, and this is why you should vote for me. Instead of, I'm a Midwest. You know, it reminded me of John Kasich. His dad was a mailman, remember? Well, you know, her mom's a middle class, I don't know, whatever, and we like it when there's nice lawns in our neighborhood. It's so dumb. Those aren't answers. Those are just, I'm going to tell you what I think and move on. It's a political, I mean, it's just a theater. It's not me finding out anything about them. We know what Kamala's policies are, right? They're Joe's policies. She's been the vice president, like it or not. She's the COO to the CEO. She should be giving Joe some kind of advice, telling him what's going on, what to do. That should be hand in hand. She runs the Senate, and she voted for a lot of these bills that passed. So when we want to look at that, she is responsible for a lot of the policies we are currently under.
All right. So do you think they should debate again? No?
No need to. Neither. It wouldn't help either.
In retrospect, Cash, do you think Trump won or lost now that we've had a week to think about it?
He won. Barely. Only
Wow.
because, again, I caught all the lies that she was telling. Maybe Trump slipped up and misspoke and didn't intentionally tell a lie. She was up there intentionally telling lies. Then you got these moderators, triple team, man, regardless.
But if you don't know they're a lie, nobody knows they're a lie if the moderators don't
Well,
moderate.
you asked me
that
what
part.
I think.
Right.
So
but
I
that-
think that he won.
But it's an issue of, do you think he won in the perspective of the importance and purpose of a debate in front of the eyes of America?
Nobody won. If you're gonna look at it in that aspect, nobody won.
So a
But
draw.
they if you're looking at it from somebody who is uneducated about anything that's going on right now with Trump or her, then it looks like a Kamala win. If you're educated about what's going on, you understand that this dude should be talking better and saying things about policy, but this bitch is flat out lying. I mean, that there's no other way to shake it. But for me, like I say, it's still a Trump win because of the way that he ended it out, the way that he started it and the way that he ended it out. Them last statements for me was good enough. You know what I'm saying? And again, she fucking lied so much on the stage and pandered and brought up all the shit that's been debunked. I'm sorry.
But
she just
nobody
lied.
got to see it. That it was that it's been debunked. The Charlottesville, nobody got to see it. That was the chance for Trump to say. I mean, he did say that
He
part
did
has
say
been
it.
debunked. He did say about Charlottesville, but some of the other stuff. Jay, who do you think won the debate?
I mean, we all lost. I mean, I guess Kamala, but not on merit. Just because Trump did such a bad job. Really, nobody won. He lost. I'll put it that way. She didn't win the debate, but he certainly lost the debate.
There you go, Casey. What do you think?
I was going to ask you the question. What is the definition? Are you saying to sway votes or what?
Yeah, that's the point. The
to
point,
sway-
not of who we think did better.
Russo, if anybody has paid attention to modern elections over the last 20, debates haven't really been debates. So you're not swaying votes. These things have never made people's minds up. They are already sold when these debates hit TV.
I think
The thing
there's
is-
a thirsty 10% in the middle right now. I think we
That's
have a
the
rare
RFK.
time.
I think it was for
But-
entertainment. That's what people use it for.
That's all the media wants. It's all entertainment. That's all
But
this is.
he could have shifted that narrative. This is the rare occasion because Kamala Harris was installed. There's a lot of people on the left that are disenfranchised or people that are left leaning that would have actually listened to a competent Trump. So that's why I do think, as much as these debates don't have a point, I think this one actually, although it was theater, this one could have moved the needle, and in the end,
I
it
disagree.
didn't.
I think it actually moved. If you were going to go with that, where did it make an impact? I think it actually made more of an impact and more solidified Trump's backing to ensure that they show up on November 5th. Because what do Republicans not do? They don't show up to vote. They put work in front of voting. And so by that debate showing up and it being so biased against him, you just fueled those people that they will make sure they show up on November 5th. And that is where Trump is winning in that case. And that is how this entire election is going. He keeps getting more and more fire behind him. And I'm having people tell me that they're going to be driving buses of people to the polls on November 5th. You have never seen anything like this before. And Republicans don't show up to vote.
Right.
Hey, that's fair. That's a good.
Casey, you're making the point about the last 4 or 5 elections. It all comes down to turnout. At the end of the day, policy's not super important on election day. It's just turnout. You've got, well, of course it should be. It's just, listen, you've got people who are always going to vote right. You've got people who are always going to vote left. And the goal of both parties is to get greater turnout. Period. End of story. That's how elections are won. Sure, it's great to sway people and all that good stuff, but like it's just about turnout. So whoever's going to win this election, maybe you're right, Casey, maybe you're wrong. We don't know. Whoever's going to win this election is just going to be who gets more people to vote. Like that's it. Like that's the whole story at the end of the day.
And that's where I think Trump wins in a landslide. You look at it like if he ends up getting what is being projected, I think you're looking at he's going to be close to 300.
Maybe.
Probably over. If you start looking what I was talking about. So the crazy thing is New Hampshire's in play, New Jersey's in play, Minnesota's in play, Virginia's in play, New Mexico's in play. There's no plays where red states are turning blue. They're actually going the other way. You're right, Casey. I mean, people are pissed And if you look at all the internals, which is this polling is garbage both ways, left and right. I mean, all that stuff. But these states are starting to wake up, and it's going to be who turns out in them. And these blue states are looking that they could turn red.
Listen, this may happen every 4 years now with how shitty everything is. We could just end up going back and forth for the next 6 or 7 presidential elections.
I've been saying that for a while. Like, we're going to be in a pendulum. It's going to be one extreme to the other. And that's a dangerous place to be in.
I think if I think if Kamala Harris wins on this one, it'll be very difficult for a Republican to take it back. I'm just
to ever win again. I think you're right. To ever win again.
Because there will be too many safeguards and safeguards put in place to not to be able to control elections based on who is.
So the states are going to hand over elections federally? I don't think so.
Well, but if Kamala does win, I think what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing more of the language of seceding, Texas, some other states. You're going to start seeing some really weird shit start taking place because, once again, Casey's right. The pendulum has swung so far one way that the other side's going to go, I'm done. That's enough. Now I'm at that point where I'm going to do something civil.
Yeah, I think so too. I know that Jay hates this part, but I'm going to answer this. What do we think about the earrings? So I'm going to speak to this.
Hang on,
Come on, Jay. Come on, Jay.
Give me 1 second. Let me put some tinfoil on my windows.
I'm going to speak to this because I cannot prove anything. What I can tell you, and I don't know, I think Matt might be the only other person that has probably done an ear prompter. Have you ever done an ear prompter?
Yeah.
So I've done speeches where we had, 5 hours to plan something, and all you could really do is prep it. You can't memorize a 3-minute speech. You record it, you play it through your ear.
Yep.
Now, those earrings match up, and people are like, those aren't even available on the market yet. Okay. Just so you know, the technology from our government is far ahead of anything that's allowed for consumers. One.
Correct.
Two, there was one specific scene that I watched. Do I think she was fed the whole time? No. Can I confirm that she was fed at all? No, not at all. But there was one scene, and as somebody that, as some of you may know, I know how to speak, and I've taught speaking, and I understand a little bit how these things work. Her eye movement was somebody that was looking to what they were being fed. There was a very clear, and the pausing that came in between what she was saying was not consistent with a steady stream of thought. And it's exactly what I have done when I have been fed and typically you record your own messages, but I'm sure, whatever it might be, is it possible? 100% possible. Can I prove anything? Would I prove anything? No. The earrings look just like something very, very similar that's in that technology space. And there is multiple scenes from the debate where she looks like she is using an ear prompter as something that I have used before, and I've seen myself recorded using it. I'd be like, oh, I could catch that. So I'm not going to think it is tinfoil hat wearing at all. And she also was out of her realm of typical lucid thought.
Her mannerisms were very off at certain times, just random times. And it was times that she had a response. That's what stood out to me, is that when you went back and looked at it and you watched her mannerisms, is like she was trying to look up at her ear and almost like she wanted to touch her ear, that something was coming in and she was paying attention. And then she actually had something somewhat intelligent to say. And I'm like, this is not adding up anymore. That's not what she does. If you watched her interview earlier today,
I don't know. I think she was just really prepped.
No way. She doesn't have enough brain cells.
This is right-wing ideology 101 right here. This is why I will never throw down with the right. You guys will find excuses and conspiracy theories for anything. For anything. She's been photographed in non-speaking appearances. She's been photographed multiple times wearing those earrings, which have been identified. They're Tiffany earrings. You can buy them yourself. You can buy them for your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever right now. She's been photographed wearing them multiple times. And again, not times where she was speaking in front of a crowd, where she was just out and about. They've shown photos of her wearing.
That's why I moved away from the whole theory.
And they can turn them off. You're right. So the right-wing theory, no. If you're a speaker, whatever you do, and Anthony is right. I've spoken, I've been an MC, I've been in front of groups, and I've done it too, where you have a speech and what you do is sentence by sentence, you speak to yourself and then you pause, another sentence, speak to yourself. It's not a right-wing anything. It's a speaking thing.
I'm not
right?
talking about this specific thing. I'm just talking about conspiracies. There always has to be a conspiracy behind everything that you don't agree with.
I agree with you.
The only reason I think that she was doing it, and I agree with you guys too, is she is not a good speaker. And they've even said that, and I don't know if you, Anthony, you may know the term, I don't. There's some phobia of speaking in front of people that makes you goofy. Like you have a hard time with your thoughts. You have a hard time speaking, and it's a nervous reaction kind of thing speaking. And they say that she has that. So to be that calm during the debate makes me think she was hearing words she needed to say. Now, were they her words? Okay, they probably were.
It's somebody that was, and here's Jay, I get what you're saying. The part that it is like, look at her mannerisms. Like, go back and watch the part where Trump started losing his crap when she knew she sucked him in, when he said, they're eating the dogs. You see her smile on her face, and like she's getting fed something to say this, because this is the next step. Like, that was right there. She's not that witty. She is not.
I don't know.
And that's why I say that.
I would actually argue the one thing that she does have, the one place where she's like pretty decent, is just with like a little clapback. Like, I think she's she's not a good public speaker. She's not smart. I don't think she's an idiot. She's just not smart enough to be president.
Coconut trees.
But I just mean, like, I can see her being able to be like, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, she's not terrible. That, I mean, anyone who's ascended to any level at all can do that to a certain degree. I just think that this is everything that ever goes wrong for Trump. The right has 17 million excuses built in that are mostly conspiratorial. You could follow this plot all the way back 8 years. It's always well, no, this happened, this happened, this happened.
Jay, let me be super clear.
But a lot of it came out to be true, though. That's the crazy
part.
Some of it.
Jay, let me be very clear. With or without her having magic earrings, with or without her having all the prep questions, with or without her having 3 against 1, I will speak, and I'll sound like a narcissistic asshole right now. I still would have decimated her in that debate.
And like, you know what? A competent Democrat would have completely destroyed Trump. Like, she didn't even destroy him. Like, we're all saying, like, oh, he beat her, she beat him, but it's like a little bit close.
That's fair.
Like, a competent Democrat would have blown him. The election would be over if there was a competent Democrat.
Him because
Say it again.
No, you said would have blown him, and I said, well,
right, yeah, she would have. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I don't like Gavin Newsom. I think he's slimy. If you put Gavin Newsom up there,
he can debate like a motherfucker.
Oh my God, Trump would still be crying about it right now.
He managed. I think he beat DeSantis in a debate where DeSantis had every policy won against him, and I still think he held his own.
And if that had happened, you guys would be saying that Newsom had an earpiece in his tie clip and he was being fed the answers. Like, that's what you guys would be saying if that had happened.
No, I said he just was a better debate. I mean, he's just a line ball.
I think you're talking about generation differences. Like, Gavin Newsom grew up in a different era to be able to do those things and be able to be coming back. Like, that's where you can't compare. And we need to make that transition in politics. Everybody, and I'm sorry, boomers, but we need to move on. Yeah. And we actually need to move on. And I think Gavin Newsom would have done that. But I think JD Vance is the introduction to it. And so we'll start pushing that direction.
Sure.
Jay, I got a question.
What's up, buddy?
And then we'll wrap it.
Men and women sports. Do you agree?
Well, do I agree with what?
Men and women sports.
No, I don't think men should compete in women's sports. But I also feel really bad for the woman in the Olympics who was not a man. I mean, thankfully that was all proven. Like, I think the discourse has gotten so outrageous that shit like that happens now, right?
Yeah,
like, it's just no, of course not. Men should not be competing in women's sports. Like, no, absolutely not. But I also think that the idea that the way that the hardcore opposition to it argues, like, very few people are taking hormones their entire life and going through these extreme measures just to go beat someone at a swim meet, right? Like, so. While I feel for the people, no, they're not.
Let me just go ahead and say it, bro. I mean, there's some people. I mean, think about it. My man, now my homegirl, I guess, Caitlyn Jenner got Woman of the Year out of nowhere
She
in the
didn't do
first
that to
year
get
of
Woman of the Year.
transitioning into a Kardashian.
You know
didn't
how
do that
how
to-
weird is that you know he was such an amazing athlete,
One of the greatest Olympians ever.
ever,
Yeah.
and then you decide to be a woman. I
And
don't
got
know.
Woman of
It
the
was
Year.
all for money, guys. It was all for money. It's the
I think
Kardashians.
it's the
What do you
Kardashians,
expect?
yeah.
They
Yeah, I
didn't need
guess.
the money, guys.
Woman
Isn't
of the
she?
Year.
Isn't Caitlyn dating a woman right now? They were married to a woman.
Yes.
Believe
She's
so.
a lesbian, yes.
Well, did she have a laparoscopy yet?
Yes.
Yes, I believe
Yes,
so.
long time ago.
Oh,
Her
okay.
dick
So
is-
she
her
does
dick is
all
long
gone. All gone.
Long
Okay.
gone.
Hey,
Long gone.
I give it to him that he went all the way.
I feel. Listen, maybe there should be transports. I don't know what the answer is. This is a modern problem that I don't think any. I don't think it's easy.
There
to
is
say,
transports. It's called
Right.
recreational sports. You
know
can
what I
play
mean?
against
No,
whoever
I-
you want to. You
I
just can't
think-
be a professional.
I agree.
No.
I don't think men or transitioning people should be allowed to compete with the opposite sex. I also feel I do feel for the people who are just transitioning because they want to and maybe they don't have a place to play. That doesn't mean they should go play in the opposite sex's sport. I feel for them. I really don't think they're doing this just so they can compete. They just are who they are and they want to play sports. They don't belong in the opposite gendered sport. But I don't know what the answer is. Like maybe they just can't play
Give them
sports.
their own
themselves.
league, man. Just give them
Huh?
their own
Yeah,
league.
that's something. Sure,
Right.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know.
Could be
I'm
enough
not
of 'em
smart
now.
enough to know the answer to that question.
Then they'll complain about the fact they don't get paid enough, even though they only have 13 fans in the audience. All right. Final words. Jay, we'll start with you and make our round robin. Jay, what's crapping? And when are we going to have you actually on a real debate?
I mean, I feel like I'm on the show for a fucking hour and a half, bro.
2 hours.
No.
You
Yeah.
have been.
Listen, vote if you must, but don't bullshit me about one's a better choice than the other. It's the lesser of two evils. Like anyone who's like, no, this person's amazing. I don't care what side you're on. You're full of shit. That's my last word. You're full of
Jay,
shit. If you're saying my candidate that I'm voting for is amazing, you're a liar.
I like the sound effects. I like
So do I,
Cash's
Hey,
new
no.
board.
Don't be adding to that problem. Don't be adding to that.
No, I like that. I'm a sound
I
effects
like
guy
it
too, Cash.
You're the man, Matt.
It's damn right. You know it. I'm a sound effect guy too.
I heard
I
that,
like
my
it.
bro. You know what? Matt, are you about to go right now? Can I introduce you? Introducing my man, Matt, another Hoosier, Indianian, Indianimal. But he lives in Texas with different kind of animals. Like bulls,
That's a fact. That's a
steers.
fact.
How
Hey,
many
stuff.
verbal gaffes can you have in one sentence there, Cash? I expect more out of you.
Well, my
Hey, little did
application.
you know,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's how Cash is going to start Thursday.
There
Just
it
like
is.
that.
He's going to have sound effects for his presentation on Thursday night.
Yes.
All right. Final
Matt.
words. I don't really have any. That was
Matt,
fun.
final words, Matt. I had to introduce him and you're ruining it. Okay, that was an epic introduction and you don't shut the fuck
That
up.
was not an
Lisa.
epic introduction.
Go
Just
ahead.
Hey,
Matt,
go
go
listen.
ahead.
Go listen to the Voice of the Working Man podcast Monday through Friday. Get over to the shop, VOTWM.com. Got a new Truth Brigade shirt out as of right now. It's fantastic. I'm loving, by the way, the AI on X. That's where I'm getting my images, by the way. I got a big mouth and an even bigger opinion, and I've got zero artistic talent at all. So I'm liking the AI on Twitter, but go over to VOTWM.com. You can do the
You know
see
who
the
else
blog.
has a big
show,
mouth
everything.
and zero actual talent?
Yeah.
Current vice president. Casey,
Facts.
final words.
Yeah. Just don't trust the government. Everybody knows that. We just do not trust the government.
Taxation without representation. Cash, take us home. Final words and then take us home.
My final words? Well, my final words are this. If you are a racist and you're on either side of racism, if you're a racist black person or Mexican or white or whatever you are, right? Fuck you. I don't like you. You don't belong here. Number two, if you are a bad neighbor, you're just a bad person in society,
Number two.
like you do the bad shit in the world, fuck you. You don't belong here, especially if you're already not from here. Number three, if you are a shitty cop, fuck you. You don't belong here. You should turn in your badge and your firearm, you piece of big, fat blue shit. Okay? We back to true blue over here. That's good cops. Shout out to the good cops. Shout out to good neighbors. And shout out to people that aren't racist. That's how I'm ending.
What if somebody puts an apple down the toilet?
Shout out to my daughter who made me take the toilet apart to pull a damn apple out. I love you, baby girl.
It's a good dad right there.
Yeah.
Splitting seeds. All right. Thank you guys for joining tonight. It was episode number 200. We'll let Cash take us home. Jay, thanks for joining for the whole episode. I appreciate it. Matt, same thing.
Later.
Episode 200. Many special guests, as you see right there. You guys know what to do when Cash says it.
Hold on 1 sec. Wait a minute.
Hey, Truth Seeker, I just want to tell you real quick, man. I see you in the comments, and I love you, brother, but get your fucking facts straight. J.D. Vance did not admit that it was a lie. You're taking this shit out of context. Watch the whole clip, motherfucker. That's all you gotta do. Watch the whole clip. Stop watching dumbass little clips from CNN on people's X accounts and running with it, spewing the nonsense in my comments section, my brother.
Oh, snap. And I don't see a wrench there anymore.
All right.
Did you take
Unite. Don't fight. Be a street light, because only you could be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart, and that's a fact. Woo! Yeah, brother.